We are live here down in the Hunter region of the Grand Newcastle's own McDonald's Jones Stadium, ready for the kickoff to the SRL's second ever Nines tournament. Here to begin off season 5 of the SRL. We are back, baby. We're ready for what should be a great opening match to the Nines tournament. I am joined here in the commentary box by Will K. Will, what are you looking forward to about this match?
This matchup is going to be great here. The Manly Seagulls, disappointing defeat near the back end of that season in the finals to miss out on the grand final the first time in 3 seasons. They're facing up against very much the underdogs in this matchup, the Parramatta Eels, who were just very disappointing last season. But they're coming into this one with a couple new faces, I think the biggest of which would be Brodie Kennedy, departing from Penrith Panthers and going to the Eels. It may be a masterclass for him, or it could be an absolute disaster. And tonight will be, I guess, the first chance to show whether it will be what it will.
As the Eels get things underway straight off the bat, Brad Goodwin with a massive run up the middle. We will quickly remind the viewers that obviously for Nines, a little bit of a different rule set to for regular SRL 1. Obviously, you know, only 9 aside, 4 tackle sets, I believe. No interchanges, so all these 9 players will be playing both days. Should be looking at a great spread down to one of the new recruits for the Manly Seagulls, Tyler Weston, played here. Obviously, both sides having to play at least 2 rookies in this game. For the Manly Seagulls, I believe it's Jimmy Ralph and Milo Kerrigan they've selected. As it's going to be that man himself, Jimmy Ralph, to punt it down deep into the enemy territory, down to Michael Crimp, who gets taken there by Malachi Booth on the 20. Good opening set there by the Manly Seagulls. What do the Eels need to do now to sort of make sure they don't get trapped in their own territory?
The Eels just need to run the ball, no fancy business. They just need to go to their forwards and run it down the line. As I say that, they run it down the edge instead. The Seagulls' defense is one of the best in the competition, and they just need to keep hammering and hammering at them and hopefully try and find some cracks.
As Logan Smith, one of the new recruits, goes up the centre there, gets it over to 30. Good set there by the Eels. 4th tackle now, 2 minutes gone. It's going to be Cherry efforts to punt it across field. Down to Tyler Weston, who's into space. Straight into space. Here's a few defenders chasing. Brodie Kennedy gets across field to make a brilliant tackle there. And he'll play it just on the 40 now. Goes short ball
Tyler
there.
Weston,
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Looking very dangerous there in that first touch of the ball. Just an immediate line break and almost away. If not for Brodie Kennedy, the Eels would already be down 4.
As he makes another run up there, Tyler Weston. He'll play it there on the 20. Goes Jimmy Ralph. Gives it short there to Brad Goodwin, but he's put onto his back. Met by Logan Schmidt. And he'll play it there on the, just past the 20 as it goes. A big kick there by Jimmy Ralph. Brodie Kennedy's under it. Taken there by Will K, and he's going to score the opening try of the Nines.
Well, there we go. I'm not going to say too much about my namesake cousin, shall we say, but Will K, a great try for him under the high ball. Lucky not to get ankle tapped and just wrapped up and just puts it down with all comfort.
Brodie Kennedy, a disappointing start for him. Obviously made some great cover tackles on Tyler Weston, but you'd be expecting him to take that ball and not let Will K get above him. He definitely has the height advantage. I feel like Brodie Kennedy probably mistimed that jump there. He definitely should have been able to leap above Will K, but a great start to the Manly Seagulls.
Absolutely a great start. The Parramatta Eels will need to get some magic here going if they want to stay in this game, because once the Sea Eagles get on a roll, they're very hard to stop.
Yeah, the Seagulls have sort of had a, you know, a bit of a... They're sort of the talk of the fast kids on the block, the Manly Seagulls, as the SRL community seems to know them as. The team with a lot of speed to burn. Definitely helpful for a Nines tournament. And it's a good start by the Manly Seagulls, and expected as an Eels make a poor error there, throwing a ball directly to the chest of Daniel Punch. And the Eels make it a poor error there.
Yeah, it's a critical error there. The Sea Eagles, they're going to have great attacking position here. They've just had a great turnaround, and now they're already in the 30. They've got a tackle left. We'll see what they do here.
As Daniel Punch breaks past one tackle, pushing forward there, up until the 10-meter line there. Good run there by Daniel Punch. Fourth tackle now. Passes it back. It's going to be Jimmy Ralph once again to put it high. He's the one who set up Mulcahy's first try. And he's going to get this time. Brad Goodwin leaps up and catches it. And gets a bonus zone try for the Seagulls.
The athleticism of Brad Goodwin in that try. And Jimmy Ralph, the new recruit. What a matchup there. Very unlikely for Brad Goodwin to get under that ball. But he did a great job getting there. And it was like a spectacular kick from Jimmy Ralph. One of the best rookie first games we've seen in the SRL, even though it's a Mines game, but still nonetheless impressive.
Yeah, you know, Jimmy Ralph, you've obviously had a bit to do with him being the Mines commissioner. Do you want to tell us a bit about him?
Jimmy Ralph, he's just a great young fella. He's good friends with Matty Harris, you know, and he's just an aspiring young half. I think he's going to be a superstar in the SRL one day.
Yeah, you can't get a much better start than that. 2 kicks there and 2 tries, both off bombs. The first one was Mulcahy going up. The second one, I don't think anyone had Brad Goodwin out-leaping Michael Crimp. But that's something that has just occurred there. Eels have the ball back now. It's good. Christian McKay push forward there. He'll play it there. Just short the 50 now. Goes Blake Harris straight up the middle there. Good run there. He'll get taken there by Chaz Dingo. Just past the 30. It goes back there to Cherry Evans. He'll punt it across field. There's no one really out there. It's going to be Tyler West. No, he's going to leave it! And Michael Crimp's going to score! What a bounce! What a try! And that might just change the tide for the Eels.
That is a great try there for the Eels. Will Kay just miles away from the ball. Matty Harris thought he had a bit of miscommunication there between the 2 leadership team members. It was just a bit disappointing there for the Eagles. But the Eels, a great try for them. And Michael Crimp running onto the ball, showing off his speed, which he was missing a little bit of last season. Just showing that in the off-season he's been putting his work in.
Yeah, what a try there. I do apologise. It was not Tyler Weston on its side. It was in fact Will Kay and Malachi Booth is now straight up the kick. Oh, Dingo. He's going to burn them. He's going to run all the way up to past the 50 into Manly's zone halfway off the kickoff. And that's just what Manly can do there. As they'll play the ball here. Daniel Punch over to Tyler Weston. Has some speed to burn. Kennedy's going to get to him. And just like that, Manly already into the 20. He'll play it there. Jimmy Ralph gives it to Blair Curtin. Short ball there to Daniel Punch. Third tackle now. Goes Jimmy Ralph. He takes on the line. Kennedy and Logan Schmidt's going to be the guys to wrap him up there. Fourth tackle. The last it is. Will Kay puts it high. A very wobbly kick there. Taken well there by Shannon Freeburn though. And the Eels survive. There was a better catch there by the Eels, but still not great defensive settling and too many gaps up the middle there.
Yeah, absolutely dominant there, that set, the Sea Eagles. Just some mesmerising running, especially that first run from Chaz Dingo. Looked like he was just jogging alongside, not really even getting to his full speed yet. Be interesting to see where the Eels go from here. They really need to get some points on soon if they want to stay in this game.
Brody Kennedy's the one to take it up there, just short of the 30-metre line now. Goes back. It's going to be Cherry Evans to punt it. Malachi Booth, the joint sim PvP winner, taking his first touch of the game. And he does what he does best. Step it off the kick returns, make a bit of some meters. And he's taken there on the 30. Matt Harris, it is now a big lock forward. Takes it to halftime. It's a good halftime. Manly Seagulls leading the Eels 13 points to 4. We're back in the second half. Okay. Line up. Had a bit of a team talk. Obviously, the Nines don't have much time to waste. So, you know, most of them just go for a minute, get some water in them, get some fluids going through them, and then back out here for the second half. Okay, your thoughts on the first half?
It was great stuff there from the Sea Eagles, just showing why they're one of the best teams in the SRL. As for the Parramatta side, it was a little bit less impressive, although they did get that very good try from Michael Crimp. I think they'll need to show a bit more game management, especially from Blake Harris in the second half, if they want to come over the Sea Eagles.
As Attila Sinadag finds himself on the wing there, he'll take the tackle there. Third tackle already. It's going to be Brody Kennedy now. We know he has some speed to burn. He, in fact, gets past I think that might be Brad Goodwin there. And he'll play it there just over the 40 there. There's a bit of miscommunication on the last there. Picked up by Attila Sedadag. He'll be wrapped up by Brad Goodwin. And another disappointing end to set there by the Eels.
Yeah, that wasn't great stuff from the Eels there. A bit of Goodwin now, getting a great amount of meters. The Sea Eagles just showing off their elusive defense and then capitalizing immediately after on the attack.
As Tyler Weston some more speed to burn there, gets some more ball. He's getting a lot of ball in this game. It's going to be Malachi Booth finding himself up the middle. Gives it short there to Matt Harris. He takes it up there, just past the 20 now. Third tackle. Goes short there to Malachi Booth up the middle. He wants to try. Is he going to get it? He's going to get held up over the line. And he'll survive that. They'll go back to the 10 meter for a play to ball. Fourth tackle, I should say. Goes Jimmy Ralph. He's just going to take it. In fact, he spills his lollies. He's been pretty good today, Jimmy Ralph, but that's not one of his proud moments.
That was a bit disappointing there from Jimmy Ralph. The rookie, he's had a good game so far with 2 try assists to his name, but just spilled the lollies on that one. I'm sure he'll be disappointed and making sure that he won't make that mistake again.
Oh no, that's just disappointing. Blake Harris on the short side hasn't had a very good game today. Been very quiet. Back into the halves for the first time since I believe round 4 of last season. And his game management has been poor, as you mentioned earlier, and that's very poor. I don't know what they're doing on that short side now. The Sea Eagles have a perfect opportunity to extend their lead. It's going to be Daniel Punch up the middle.
Daniel Punch, he's just been doing great stuff from the Sea Eagles in this half. Just showing off how good of a forward he is. As Goodwin now, likewise. I just don't think the Eels can hold on for much longer.
Yeah, I can't imagine him holding them out here. It's going to be a very hard defensive set. Blair Curtin it is. Wrapped up there, just short of that 5 meters out. Goes Chaz Dinger now. Out of dummy half, and he'll score a try. And I think that's going to put the Eels to bed here. The Sea Eagles will look to claim their first win in the Nines. And a decisive one it has been.
Yeah, that was spectacular stuff there from Chaz Dingo. He just faked out the Eels' defense. Stood there for a second, and they didn't really know what was happening there. Then stepped around the forwards, and in he was into the bonus zone as well, getting 5 points for his team.
Yeah, as you can see in the background there, Luke Short having a couple words to the referee Ashley Klein. He's not impressed there. He seems to think that Brad Goodwin seemed to have distracted a few of his defenders that allowed Chaz Dinger to go in there, but the referees pretty much ignored him, brushed him off, and the Sea Eagles have claimed another try for us. Brody Kennedy's up the middle, off the kickoff. We saw Dinger do this in the first half, and now Kennedy, a race between him and Will Kay. Is Will Kay going to get to him? What a brilliant cover tackle that is on the 10-meter line. He just gets caught there, but they're not out of trouble yet, the Sea Eagles. Short ball there to Luke Short. Pushes forward. Second tackle, I should say now. Goes Christian McKay looking for a try. He's going to get pushed back. Third tackle now. It's good set so far by the Eels. It goes short there. Gives it short to Luke Short, and the captain goes over for a try. Maybe they're not done yet.
Maybe they're not. Luke Short, a great try there from the skipper. Just showing off some elusive ball running and running his line. You saw Will Kay was out of position, still recovering from that big effort to get across to Brody Kennedy. And that was great foresight from the halves.
Yeah, Will Kay probably had no right to keep up with Brody Kennedy there. Something must have just got him in the position to make that tackle. Kennedy, he just found space off the kickoff and made, well, Manly look absolutely silly there. And, well, just like that, they're only 10 points down. They're still in it, but not by much, as Chaz Dingo again, off the kickoff, makes a good 35 meters there for Brody Kennedy's caught their first tackle. It's going to be now. Jimmy Ralph, over to Will Kay, gets it back. I think it hit a Manly Sea Eagles hand there. No, the referee says play on. Matt Harris then throws it intercept. The Eels needed that. They can score here. We'll give them enough time to potentially put maybe an upset here as it goes Brody Kennedy now. Wrapped up there. In fact, no, he gets the offload there. Blake Harris it is. It's going to be the second tackle now. They're on the 30. Gives it short there to Luke Short. He pushes forward. Third tackle now. Goes to Sedadag. Sedadag straight up the middle. Looking for a try. He'll get there. The Eels are definitely still in it now. And they'll be down by 4, assuming Blake Harris gets this kick.
Yeah, what a try there from Attila Sinadag, the man they call it NSL at times. It's beautiful ball running there. Just got around Chaz Dingo on the outside of him. And yeah, just points on the board for the Eels. They may come up with an upset here.
Yeah, what an upset it would be. 20-4 it was, just 2 minutes ago. And just like that, 2 quick tries from their skipper and then their vice skipper. Attila Sinadag. Obviously, Attila Sinadag has offered to sponsor his own club there. Obviously, NSL on the logo on the front of the Parramatta jersey. We thank him for that. They've got to defend this set though, Eels. Manly going to start with the ball. They've got to defend it, and that's not a good start. Dingo up the middle. He'll get caught here. About the same spot he got caught last time. They've got to defend here. They cannot let Manly score again. If Manly score again, it's all over. There's not enough time left. As good when it is, pushes forward. That's the second tackle. Who'll play it there? Goes short side here because it's short ball there to Daniel Punch. That's the third tackle. It's going to be Jimmy Ralph there. He takes it up there. Manly not doing anything special here. Just taking the tackles. It's going to be Malachi Booth who punts it over. In position there is Michael Cripp. There's no one on this wing. Michael Cripp. He takes on Chaz Dingo. Dingo with a brilliant cover tackle there. 2 minutes remaining in this game. They definitely still have the potential to cause a massive upset here, the Eels. Goes Cherry Evans, over to Blake Harris. Gets it to Brody Kennedy. No one's inside. Dingo's chasing. He tries to beat him back on the inside, but Dingo managed to make the tackle there. A brilliant tackle. 22 meters out now. Goes short there. The centre nag looking for a double. Blair Kerner makes a brilliant tackle there. Fourth tackle now. It's going to come all down to this kick. It's going to be Cherry Evans who puts it high. Michael Cripp's going to be under it. Tapped back and they're in. And now a kick from the sideline to win the game for the Eels.
What a kick from Cherry Evans. Brody Kennedy getting the ball that's batted back. That is great stuff from the Eels. They've just turned on in the second half. And Blake Harris with one of the most important kicks that he can get. We'll see how he goes. And he's absolutely snapped that. The Manly Seagulls have about 40 seconds if they want any chance of winning this game. And it truly is the clutch factor if they do win this.
It was just after the Manly scored their last try. I said, well, that's going to be it. And then Eels just, they must have heard it. They just now have turned something on. And they're going to cause a massive upset to begin the nines. First tackle now. They're going to have to come up with something here, Manly. Only 9 seconds remaining on the clock. Daniel Punch it is. Playing it there. Okay. Out to Tyler Weston. This might be it. This will be it. Brody Kennedy chasing Tyler Weston. And he makes the tackle. Oh. And the Eels are going to win the game. The first game of the night caused a massive upset to begin it. They're one of the slowest teams in the comp. But they did it with just... I don't know how they did it. They just simply did. And the Seagulls are going to lose the opening game of the Nines. What
a game. That had it all. The Seagulls, very disappointing there from them. I don't think that Matty had too impressed. The Parramatta Eels, some great stuff from there then. Easily the better team in that second half, and that's why they won it in the end of the day. A beautiful game from Brody Kennedy. And also obviously making that last tackle on not Michael Cripps, sorry.
Tyler Weston.
Tyler Weston, rather. And to save the game, it's just incredible stuff there.
Let's take a look at some of the stats here. Tyler Weston, he may have lost the game, but he was probably Manly's best player, along with Brad Goodwin and Chaz Dingo. For the Eels, Brody Kennedy, what a performance by him. That'll be the last game, or that'll be the last moment of this game. Obviously, next we have the Raiders versus the Broncos. I've been the SRO Commissioner, Lachlan Martin. Thank you all, for joining me, and we'll see you in a moment's notice. We are live here for the second game of the Nines tournament. The first game off Pool B with the Broncos coming out here at a packed Newcastle, McDonald's Jones Stadium. I feel fewer people have come in for the second clash compared to the last one, and they're taking on the Canberra Raiders, grand finalists from season 4. Fortunately, they lost to the Cowboys. This should be a very interesting game. Two sides that were on either end of the table last season. But teams are expecting to go. People expect them to go different ways based on their signings for this season. I'm joined in the commentary box once again by Will K. What are you looking forward to about this game?
Well, this game, it is really a test for the Broncos, this one. The Raiders, obviously a tried and tested team from last season, just almost going the whole way, but coming defeated by the Cowboys in the grand final. And the Broncos in their rebuild phase, that man Jack Carl leading them out. It'll be an interesting game to see how they go against such a good team and whether they stand a chance in the SRL competition.
Yeah, look, they have a lot of new sightings, in fact. Out of everyone they've selected this game, only 2 players played in their Wooden Spoon season last year. Both Justin Place and Sam Herbert's the only one to make appearances for the Broncos last year in this Nines tournament. The Raiders are going to start with the ball here. It'll be a massive test for the Broncos. See some new sightings. Corey Bell going to fullback. It seems like the rumors have been he'll be playing fullback for the Broncos this year, as they're going to make an error there, it seems. Or in fact, they've blown a penalty and they've caught it offside. Not sure if I agree with that.
That is an interesting call there from the referee. I'm not sure who it is down on the ground currently. It looked as if the ball went forward and into an offside player. What would usually just be called as a knock-on has been blown for a penalty. That's an interesting one there from the referee. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, I would have personally been gone back to the knock-on, but maybe the refs ruled that he was within 10 meters, so they're calling it a penalty infringement. We'll have to see how that goes, but the Raiders have a good opportunity here to potentially strike first. Tim James plays it 10 meters out now. So it didn't matter. Oos takes on the line, but the rushing defense was there. Rohan Kaval, Corey Bell, 2 of their new signings here. 4th tackle now, goes back there. It's going to be Luke Thompson, grubber it through. No one's really there chasing onto it. Jake Scott takes it. And he'll be wrapped up there. Bit of a poor kick by Luke Thompson, or maybe poor chases, as now the Raiders give away a penalty.
Yeah, already 2 penalties in this game. It's developing quite quickly. Jack Carl kicking for touch for his team to get him out of a bit of trouble. Jake Scott did well on the collect there, the rookie. He's a lock by trade. And I think that he will be someone to watch in this outing.
As Joey Kelly off the tap restart, it's going to go the distance straight away, and the Broncos score with just their second touch of the footy. What a try.
What a try from Joey Kelly. We saw last season at the Sea Eagles how good he is off the kick returns, but just there, just weaving in and out throughout the Raiders' defense and just running the whole way. He's got a lot of pace on him, and he used it to its full capacity there.
Yeah, it was a very bad try to concede for the Raiders. It was just so easy, and Joey Kelly, he made Eli Barnes look silly. When was the last time you saw a player burn Eli Barnes like that? It's been a couple seasons now. He's MVP medalist of season 4, well, joint MVP medalist, I should say. And he was made to look silly there. As the Broncos, kick off. Medals collects it, and the Raiders will restart here off the kick return. It's going to go Aaron Leonidas. Now, a bit has been said about the Raiders, obviously losing quite a few players in the off-season. Only real noticeable game was Marshall Edwards from the Penrith Panthers. How do you expect the Raiders to go in Season 5?
The Raiders in Season 5, oh, that is a tough question to ask. I don't know how they're going to go at all. I think Eli Barnes will be one of the deciding factors for the Raiders. He's just been astronomical last season, just really showing off what great a player he is. But I don't know if he can get it done this season, especially with the forward pack that they're being built off. It will just have to be wait and see.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Obviously, we saw what Eli Barnes does struggle a bit when he doesn't have the greatest forward pack. Obviously, everyone remembers what happened throughout Season 3. He was shifted around a bit, just wasn't really having any spark for Parramatta. And We'll have to see how he goes this season. As Sam Herbert takes a hit up there. He'll play it there. Just short of the 30 there. 4.5 minutes gone in this game. Jack Carl's going to kick it down to Xavier Demando. Another one of the Raiders' new recruits. And Xavier Demando beats Corey Bell, but Corey Bell is going to track back. Corey Bell does have the speed to catch up to Xavier Demando. It'll catch him there. He's lucky Corey Bell that wasn't a fast winger, because he would have been away there. But Xavier Demando not the fastest winger, and he got caught there, as it's going to be Lecky Tua. Another one of the rookies in this tournament. He'll play it there. Goes Charlie Rosny back inside the Xavier Demando. Gets the ball out. Zero tackle restart there. Luke Thompson will be playing it there. Zero tackle now. It's going to be Aaron Leonidas at the back to seal him. And also they're going to chuck him over the sideline. Great defense once again there from the Broncos.
A great tackle there from the former skipper, Justin Plays. Taking Matus into touch. That is some great defense in a moment they needed it the most from the Broncos.
Yeah, they had a bit of a play out there. Sam Matus decided to go on the wing. They got a bit of a ball there, but Justin Plays made a great tackle there. And chucked him over the sideline pretty much. And just like that, the Raiders once again struggled to score. They've had a bit of a ball inside the 10-meter line, but it's been a bit disappointing. They haven't been able to get over the line yet. As will be Jack Carl. Give it there to Justin Plays. Plays is up the middle now. He makes a good run. Taken there by Eli Barnes though, and that's going to be the 4th tackle now. He'll play it back there. Jack Carl's going to punt him once more. Down to Xavier Demando once again. They're definitely targeting him. As he breaks away once more. He doesn't quite have the speed, Xavier Demando, but he's willing to make meters. He'll get caught there by Corey Bell once more on the 30. First tackle now. Goes over to Eli Barnes. Barnes breaks past one tackle. Looking for Lyon. He's going to get caught there by Corey Bell. A brilliant run there by Eli Barnes. Hasn't had much ball today, but he gets... It was long ball over to Luke Thompson. Great tackle there by Sam Herbert, I think it is. And Jack Carl as it goes short side again. Marshall Edwards. Short ball to Lecky Tua. The rookie looking for a try. And he's going to be held up. Great defense there once more from the Broncos. As... an error there from, I think that was Luke Thompson, and the Broncos survive. More pressure on their lines. Great defense there.
Great stuff there from the Broncos, showing off that they've got a lot of heart already in defense. It was the man Tim James just coming up with an error at the end of that set. Justin Plays now going through the line. They're just eating meters for breakfast here, the Broncos.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say they're eating meters, but they definitely just are able to take a lot of them. And they're only one try in this game so far, but their defense has been definitely... It's been amazing so far today. As it goes Jack Carl. Short ball there to Jake Scott. And he'll be put on his back there. 4th tackle, I should say now. He plays it there. Rohan Kaval gives it back to Sam Herbert. Puts it on the toe, but it's a little bit too deep.
Yeah, that was a disappointing end of the set there from the Broncos. Sam Herbert, not too sure what he was doing there. He put way too much toe on that. There was no chance that was ever going to hold up. If he kicked that from 30 meters, that would probably still go dead. But alas, the Raiders get off the hook, and the Broncos in a bit of hot water.
Marshall Edwards gets a brilliant offload there. Coming up the middle a little bit, Marshall Edwards. Interesting decision there. Usually a winger or center. But he's getting his hands on the ball early. His Lecky Tua will take the final hit up of the half. And they go to halftime. The Brisbane Broncos leading the Canberra Raiders 7 points to 0. We are here back in the second half. Luke Thompson getting the ball ready to kick back off here. Not the greatest first half there from the Raiders. Had a lot of opportunities. Couldn't get over on any of them. What were your thoughts on the first half, Will?
I thought it was great stuff there from the Brisbane Broncos. They're definitely a team to watch this season already. The Raiders, they were very, very difficult to hold back, but somehow the Broncos held on. I think if the Raiders keep on going the way they were, I think they definitely get points on the board very, very soon.
As an inside ball there for Corey Bell. He manages to push up towards the 40-meter line. Goes back there. It's going to be Sam Herbin looking for a good kick. That's a very good kick. Doesn't have to angle, though, for a 40-20 or anything, as Eli Barnes makes a good kick return. Gets up towards the 40. That's going to be the first tackle. It goes Luke Thompson. Over to Lecky Tua. Lecky Tua goes down the sideline. Gets around Jack Carl. Showed off a bit of speed there, Lecky Tua. So goes Luke Thompson. Short ball there to Aaron Leonidas. Up the middle. Third tackle now. Goes Luke Thompson up the middle. Gets the ball over. Lecky Tua. Oh, he's just stopped there. I thought he was for certain over there. Fourth tackle now. What a brilliant try saver there by Justin Plays. Luke Thompson puts it high. A good kick. Not good enough though. Corey Bell takes it. And this is dangerous. Not dangerous enough though as Luke Thompson takes it there. Not to Luke Thompson, sorry. Charlie Rosany. But what a try saver on Lecky Tua that was.
Yeah, Justin Plays just coming off his wing, coming back inside the field and making that great tackle on a very big rookie. The former skipper just showing off that he still has a lot of love for his team. And it'll be great to see that more as the season progresses.
Yeah, Lecky Tua. He's had a couple moments where he's looked like he's been very good. He's looked very solid so far. As Marshall Edwards now goes past one. Marshall Edwards, no, he gets good kick returns. Joey Kelly's chasing. Kelly might beat him here. I don't think Kelly's not going to get to him. And the game's going to be all tied up, assuming that Luke Thompson gets this kick.
Jeez, what a play there from Marshall Edwards. He's got some speed to burn the very young winger. And ever did he show that there. Joey Kelly just left in the dust, almost getting him, but not quite enough pace. That is great stuff from the Raiders.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier, Xavier Armando was making a lot of line breaks off kick returns. But they just kept getting wrapped up, not having the speed Xavier Armando. They kicked to Marshall Edwards though. We know he has speed. He's done it in the SRL before and he does it with ease in the 9s. And the game is all locked up at 7-all. We could potentially see a golden try today. That would be a fitting way to see this game out as Corey Bell is going to take the tackle there. 20-meter line. 12.5 minutes gone so far, 7-all. How do we see this game playing out from here, Will?
It's too early to say yet, I think. Both teams still got a lot to show in this game to prove to not only the greater SRL community, but themselves. It'll be a vicious fight and battle out there.
It's the third tackle now. As they throw it offload there. And Jack Carl has decided to slot it and he's got the field goal. He's decided to take it very early here. Especially in the Lions tournament. 4.5 minutes to play still. But he's got it in the back pocket now. And the Broncos lead 8 points to 7.
What a kick. That's some great distance. Beautifully striked there from Jack Carl. I didn't see that coming from him, but he's obviously been working on his field goals in the off-season. What a kick.
I think everyone in the grandstand is shocked that he's just thrown that. I don't think anyone expected him to. Us goes up the middle now. Remember, there's still 4 minutes to play. The Raiders can definitely still win this here. Very early to take the field goal as they go Xavier Armando now. He's wrapped up just past the 40. Third tackle now. They go short side. Long pass out to Luke Thompson. We know he has speed. He'll be taken up by Corey Bell. They're going to want to put a good kick in here. They don't look like to be lining up for a field goal here. Us in the back pocket, just behind her. Playable there. And he takes on the line. He takes it on Grubbers in for himself. But it's going to be way too far there. Not the kick they needed.
Not the kick they needed indeed. Now, the Broncos with a 5-tackle set. It's going to be tough going alright here for the Raiders as Jack Carl just breaks the line. I think the Brisbane Broncos are going to get a roll on here in this set in particular. And the Raiders are going to be in all sorts of strife whether they score or not.
Yeah, but Raiders, they have to keep them out here. They cannot concede another try. Third tackle now. Goes short ball there to Joey Kelly. We know how quick he is. He gets past a few, gets an offload. And Justin Monkey takes it there. Fourth tackle now. Goes back to Sam Herbin. He puts it high. A very high kick, in fact. And it's taken out by Jack Carl, but he's going to be put on his back. Last-ditch effort there from Aaron Leonidas. And the Raiders stayed it, but barely.
Yeah, great stuff there from Canberra. From the Broncos. Canberra just countering with some great defense. It was just, it's by a thread, this game. On the edge of my seat here. It's still too early to say what happened.
2 minutes to go. They give it back to Luke Thompson. He's put in a kick. It's a very poor kick there. And with 2 minutes remaining, the Broncos can seal it right here. Not a great kick there by Luke Thompson. Sam Herman's up the middle. He takes on Eli Barnes. He gets wrapped up there. Second tackle. I think they need to force an error here to the Raiders. Goes Joey Kelly. Throws a long pass out to Corey Bell. Rushed off his line there, Luke Thompson. Puts a brilliant tackle there. Third tackle now. Jack Carl takes on the line. Short ball there to Justin Monkey. He's pushing forward and I think he's down. And that's going to wrap up the game for the Brisbane Broncos.
The referee's sending it upstairs here. I don't think it will matter. I think Jake Scott, for all money, has scored this try. And what a try that is for the rookie. Brilliant stuff. Eli Barnes stood no chance as his teammates simply watched as he struggled with the big forward. Great stuff from the Broncos tonight. Great stuff from Jake Scott. That is just incredible stuff.
Now, the Raiders do get the ball here. There is a minute remaining. If they can get a bonus zone try, we could potentially see this still go into golden try. It's a very unlikely situation, but a minute to go. You could argue there's still a chance they're going to kick off now. They'll have 50 seconds to do something. Eli Barnes just takes it up there, and he'll be wrapped up. They have 80 meters to go. They need a bonus try if they want to get something here. It goes to Leki Tua. He's been probably the Raiders' best player today, Leki Tua. He's been phenomenal, hasn't he?
Absolutely, he has. The young forward just proving why he was one of the best draft picks out there. He's just been phenomenal with his running and his line running especially. It's just been great to watch tonight.
Samantha was going for a last-ditch 40-20. He can't get it there. Corey Bell will take the final tackle off the game. The siren sounds in the background. The Broncos have won. They had a lot of speed to burn there. They got it out. It was a very close game, though. The Raiders, in the end, it was probably the Broncos' defense that won. And they had several sets on the line, the Raiders. But the Broncos just defended their ass off. And they win 14 points to 7. Thoughts of the game?
Well, that was just incredible stuff from the Brisbane Broncos. Just watching that game was something phenomenal. 100% completion rate from Brisbane is just something in itself to start with. Some great efforts from Jack Carl, especially setting up his teammates and just getting those meters early. It's good signs going forward in the SRL for this team. The Raiders, they'll be disappointed with their performance, but it was a good performance nonetheless. Xavier Demanda with 143 meters, putting in the effort for his team. Leki to 115 as a second rower. Just some great stuff from the young stars of that Raiders team, showing some great potential in the future. The veterans of the Broncos really holding it together for them.
Yeah, look, Raiders, they'll definitely make it a lot more meters than the Broncos, but it was just, I think it was just sort of, I don't know what it exactly was, but just it was the Broncos' defense, actually. That was what won them the game. They didn't make as many meters as the Raiders did, but they didn't need to, and they simply won it based off that. Anyways, thank you, Will K, once again for joining me. I've been the SRL Commissioner, and we'll see you all later.
Shake, come over here, now scream.
We are live here for the third game of the Newcastle Nines in the SRL. The Rabbitohs led out by Liam Ryan. We're going to take on the new franchise and the home team of this tournament, the Newcastle Knights, who are set to get their campaign underway here in Season 5, their first season in the SRL. I am joined here in the commentary box by Will K. Will, what are your thoughts on this game? You excited?
I'm very excited to see this game here. I think the Newcastle Knights are probably a little bit more excited than me here. They're a phenomenal team to be coming in as the 9th team. You know, the first time that's ever happened. I'm very excited for them, and I hope they have a good outing tonight against a very consistent team for the last 4 seasons. The Rabbitohs, it'll be a tough one, but we'll see whether they can get it home with the experienced players that they have.
Yeah, look, we weren't sure how good this, Hunter, region would take on the Knights. Would they switch from their current SRL clubs to the Knights? Would they stick strong? And it seems for the most part we have a sea of red, white, and blue out there for the Newcastle Knights here to support their team in the Newcastle Nines, which is really good to see. How do you expect they'll go in their first season, Kay?
Well, we've got some great teams lining up for this season. I'm not too sure. My predictions would have the Knights somewhere in the top 5.
Yeah, very high hopes for their first season there as they get their first set on the way. Aaron White, it is the rookie. Gets past Dom Pogsley. Misses his first tackle in the SRL. He'll have to brush it off quickly because he's going to have a good defensive set here. The Rabbitohs as Aaron here pushes forward. That's the second tackle. Liam Ryan now, long pass over to Kevin Dixon. Gets it onto Aaron White. Aaron White's taken out by Jack O'Neill. Moving from the Raiders to the Newcastle Knights in the off-season. Playing fullback here. Is that a position you expect to see him throughout the most part of the season? Season?
So we have Ryan playing the ball here.
As it goes, it's going to be kicked there. It hits the post. Bounce back for Aaron here and have scored.
Well, there we go. It's the Rabbitohs special. I don't know how many times they've done that exact play. Hell yeah. The rookie coming into the team and learning it very, very quickly. And Aaron O'Hare reaps the benefits of that reward. A beautiful set play there from the Rabbitohs. And they've done it time and time again. The Knights lacking in their homework.
Yeah, very good play there by the Rabbitohs. Daniel Hellier, a massive kick there, coming in from the Mines into the SRL, and it's a brilliant kick there. Hit the crossbar, or I guess the post, and it just bounces along nicely for Aaron O'Hare, and the Rabbitohs start well. As I was saying earlier, where do you think the, how do you think the Knights are going to go on, already asked that, as we have the Knights coming up here, second tackle now. Mark Iron plays the ball there. Third tackle it is going to be. Goes Jack O'Neill now. Jack O'Neill pushes up the middle. Gets taken there by Kevin Dixon. A good run there. And it's going to be the fourth tackle now. Goes to Matthew Vaughan. Kicks down to Tyrone Clay. Gets through up the middle. Good tackle there. By, I think that's Matthew Vaughan. Obviously, Kay at Manly. You have a bit to do with Matthew Vaughan. Do you think it's a good signing by the Knights, and how do you think he'll go in his first season at Newcastle?
Absolutely, I think it's a great signing from the Knights. Matthew Vaughan, I've worked with him quite closely. A young 5'8". He's got 95 speed in his ratings, and he's a big boot archetype. I just don't think you can go any further than finding one of the hottest rookie 5'8s, or halves in general, in the competition. Well, sorry, rather than rookie, young.
Yeah, obviously last season, coming off the bench, playing at hooker. You know, I don't think he may have only, I think he's only started 1 or 2 games in the SRL. So it's going to be a big step up from being pretty much a bench utility. It's going to be an interesting one to see how he'll go in his first season. Obviously likely to partner up with either Jack O'Neill, Mark Iron, Isaac Edwards. It's going to be interesting to see who he partners up with. Do you think it'll be... I've personally have Isaac Edwards. Would you agree with that?
I think that Matthew Vaughan will slot into that 6 role and Isaac Edwards into the 7. I'm not too sure where the other players will be. I think Jack O'Neill will be in the fullback jersey, the number 1. And as for Mark Iron, I'm not too sure. Maybe in the centres. It's hard to choose right now what he'll be, but I'm sure wherever they put him, he will be deadly. They've got a phenomenal backline, along with their rookies as well, Dom Ponkston and Dylan Murray. They've got a heap of backs, so, they've got a lot of choice, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with there. They've definitely made some quality signings. As it goes Aaron White this time for rookie for the Rabbitohs. Up, middle gets taken there just past the 20. He'll play it there. Liam Ryan seems to be calling for it. They're going to go shorter to him. He did have time to get kicked away. Wrapped up there. That's a poor end to the set for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, it's not a great end to the set from the Rabbitohs there. The Knights, they'll be looking to push on in this set here.
As Sabbath Ta'ua plays it there. 35 metres on the 35-metre line. As Jack O'Neill up the middle now. Takes on Kevin Dixon. One of the future superstars, obviously counted as a rookie. Made his debut at the end of last season. In fact, in that round 7, thrashing by the Warriors. At centre. Playing fullback today. He's got quite long arms. Similar build to the likes of Eli Barnes and Malachi Booth. Both were the joint MVP winners of last season. How do you think Kevin Dixon's going to go this season?
Kevin Dixon's very early to say now. I think that it was a bit disappointing the way he came into the team last season. But, he's got good speed on him, a good head on him, and I think he could be something special for the Rabbitohs.
As the Rabbitohs spread it out there to Tyrone Clay, who will play it there on the 40. Goes short side here. Aaron here gives it to Daniel Hellyer. He'll be taken down there by what looks to be Mark Iron. Goes Liam Ryan. Short ball to Dustin Richards. They get it out there to James Fawn. He's taken their 4th tackle. 8 minutes gone. Rabbitohs are still leading 6 points to 0. As Hellyer rockets it sideways. Fielded by Isaac Edwards. Just past the... getting up towards the 20-metre line. Not a great kick return there at all by the Knights. But it's going to be Matthew Vaughan to take it up there. And that's a good, better run there. Second tackle, Isaac Edwards. Short ball, Dom Ponks. We know how dangerous he is. Obviously, the Mines player of the year coming into the Nines format, you'd expect him to do quite well. Bit of a quiet so far, but we'll see if he can get his form up in the second half. As Bo Sadler now gives it to Jack O'Neill, but he's going to be wrapped up there with a few seconds remaining. I don't think he's going to get to play the ball, and it is not. And the Rabbitohs go to halftime, leading the Knights 6 points to 0. We're here in the second half. Isaac Edwards picks up the ball, ready to put it on the tee to kick off. I wouldn't say any team really stood out in that first half. The only try coming from a ball hitting the upright. Bouncing down to Aaron here for a try. Okay, what were your thoughts of the first half?
It was an interesting first half, that one. I think the Rabbitohs, the scoreboard doesn't really reflect their effort in the game, as they kind of pulled up back a little bit in the back end of that first half. The Knights were incredibly unlucky for that siren to go off when it did. They were about on the 30. The referee had just said 6 again. They were very unlucky not to score, but I'm sure they'll capitalise off this half. There's nothing too special in that first half, and that's expected with how much it's raining down here. I guess it'll be really up to the halves here to decide and get their players through gaps and really get those meters and points on the board.
It's going to be Daniel Hellyer to put it high. No real pressure there. O'Neill takes it with ease, but a massive shot put on there. Not sure who that was. But he picks up and he runs. And he's going to get caught there forward. Catches him. That was almost dangerous for the Rabbitohs. Not sure what happened there, but they throw it in the Liam Ryan takes it. He's not going to be caught. He gets past Sabbath Ta'ua and he'll go in for a bonus try.
That is great stuff there from Leon Ryan. the Rabbitohs making a weird mistake and not flopping back on top of Jack O'Neill, but Liam Ryan, 99 speed, back in the halves. You love to see it, and he's shown why he is such a dominant half.
As Fawn looks to kick it over, he will get the try. 13 points up now for Rabbitohs. The Knights, they're under a little pressure now. It's going to be hard for them to come back now. Obviously not impossible. We saw what the Eels did earlier in the day. So it goes down to Jack O'Neill. He's going to go straight for the gap now. Off the kickoff, gets past Dixon, but once again it's that man, the captain. Liam Ryan gets the crossfield to make a brilliant tackle. Goes Manafar Philly. Pushes forward up towards the 50-metre line. They have to do something here, the Knights. They can't keep waiting forever. As Matthew Vaughan takes it there. Looking for a spread, but he realised he had those supporters out there. So he had to take tackle. Third tackle now. Isaac Edwards straight up the middle. We know he's got speed. Wrapped up there by the 20. They have to do something on this kick. They can't just put in a little grubber kick or a kick. They have to make it an attacking kick. And it's a good kick. No one wants it. Eventually taken out by Kevin Dixon. And the Rabbitohs get a 5-tackle restart.
Yeah, there's a disappointing last tackle option there from the Knights. I thought they would have done something a little bit better with the ball and position they had. The Rabbitohs got off the hook there, but they'll be hard done by to get out of their half here.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed there, the Knights. They have to defend their arse off here. That's a great run there by Hayden Davis. It's going to be set third tackle there. Get a short side here. Arrow here. Short ball there to Liam Ryan. He's happy to just take the tackle. He's been very good today. Probably Rabbitohs' best player, Liam Ryan. He's led them around the park with ease, the veteran 5'8", as a massive shot put there. Not sure who that was. Manafar Philly dives on it. Torrin Clay was the one looking to kick, but he just got absolutely annihilated. I think he's just lost his kicking license there. A 7th to all plays it there. Isaac Edwards gets it through the hands. Gets a long pass over to Romo Mobinston, sorry. On the wing. They need to score sooner rather than later. They can't keep waiting forever the night. 7th to Ua. Pushes through. Third tackle now. Goes short there to Romo Mobinston. 4th tackle. Goes Isaac Edwards. Rubbers it for himself. Picked up by Kevin Dixon. Kevin Dixon, the rookie's away. Isaac Edwards comes across to make a brilliant cover tackle. I thought he might have been away there. But it was a great tackle though, wasn't it?
That is a phenomenal tackle there, Isaac Edwards. A 92 speed for him. I think he's matching Kevin Dixon in that department. Just lucky to get onto him. If that was any other player but Isaac Edwards. Dixon is away for all money. As
Aaron Wright now goes through the middle. I think another try here would seal it for the Rabbitohs. Up 13 points to nil. Over, long pass over to Daniel Hellier. Faruqi looking for a try and he's going to seal it for the Rabbitohs.
Good on Daniel Hellier. He saw the gap, he backed himself and he ran straight through it. That's exactly what you want to see from a young half. And especially playing on the left side of the field tonight. Beautiful ball playing from him.
Yeah, he just ran onto it at speed. Straight through the line there. And if Fawn gets this, which he does, 19 to 0. You can say anything's possible, but I don't think it's possible now. Fortunately, I know last time I said that, the team ended up coming back. But 19 points to 0. I think the Rabbitohs will be happy to lock that one up there. As O'Neill takes the kickoff there, wrapped up by James Fawn. The Knights will be disappointed today, but they haven't really shown much of attack, have they?
They have not indeed. They've had a lot of opportunity, but just no finishing ability.
Stick a short side here to Mark Iron. Hasn't really touched much of the ball today. He'll be wrapped up just past the 40. Third tackle now. Short ball there. Gets it offload, in fact. Jerome Mominston, this is a better piece of play. He'll get wrapped up there. 15 meters out. 4th tackle now. Goes back there to Isaac Edwards. He puts it high. Maybe they can get a consolation try, but Kevin Dixon catches it. And a brilliant catch under pressure there by Kevin Dixon.
Yes, in the second half particularly, Kevin Dixon has really shown what he's made of and why he's in that number 1 jersey tonight. It's been great to watch, and I think that the Rabbitohs team and the leadership in particular will be very impressed with his performance.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything too special, he hasn't lit the world on fire, but he's definitely just been all-round solid, doing his job nicely. Sort of allowed, with Kevin Dixon doing his job, he sort of just allowed the likes of Liam Ryan, Daniel Helyev, a rookie, to just sort of play their game, which has worked nicely in the Rabbitohs' favour.
Absolutely, you can't ask for anything more from a fullback. He's been sound defensively and attacking. He has been great as well, getting a whole bunch of run meters. He has had an absolute cracker of a game.
As Sabbath to palms off a couple of defenders, gets up past the 30, that's the second tackle. Maybe they can get a consolation try here. 20 seconds remaining on the clock. Goes mighty far, Philly, straight up the middle now. Looking for an offload, he can't get it to Isaac Edwards, was screaming on the outside. Third tackle, 15 seconds remaining. Long pass over to Morriston. The Rabbitohs would love to keep the Knights at 0. Fourth tackle now. 2 seconds remaining, they're going to get it. It's going to go short to Edwards, and he kicks it, he was over the line. And I guess that's going to leave the Rabbitohs winning the game, 19 points to 0. The Knights will only play one more game in this tournament. It's going to be very hard for them to make the finals now in this tournament. Your thoughts on the game, okay?
Well, that was a great outings there from the Rabbitohs. I thought going to the game they stood no chance. They weren't looking like a strong team at all, and I was proven severely wrong. They had a lot of spark. They all clicked. Everyone did their job as they needed to, and I think that was what really pushed that 19-0 result. The Newcastle Knights, on the other hand, they'll be a bit disappointed with that performance. I think in their first outing at their home stadium, in front of their fans and family, I think they'll need to bounce back, and they'll really want to, and they'll really push for it in the next game. But alas, I think the Rabbitohs easily the better team. They had a cracker of a second half, and they came away with the win.
Yeah, look at some of the stats here. Jack O'Neill, Savage, easily the best Knights players. The other ones, Isaac Edwards had a few good moments, but other than that, they looked pretty poor, to be fair.
Yep.
As we have a look at the Rabbitohs here, he had a very strong game. Liam Ryan, Daniel Hellier did their jobs tremendously. Kevin Dixon, only 63 metres, but I think every time he touched the ball, he looked dangerous, didn't he?
He absolutely did, and 10 tackles, 0 missed is something to be proud of out the back there.
Yeah, well, thank you once again, Will K, for joining me in the commentary box. I've been your host, the SRO Commissioner, and I'll see you in the next one.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me there's 80 minutes in a week just for rugby league?
James? Yep. How you doing, my friend? Happy Friday.
Well, what I'm saying is there are 10,080 minutes in a week, right? And how long's the game?
It goes for 80 minutes.
80 minutes. You can do what you want with the other 10,000 minutes, but those 80 are special, mate.
He's right, you know. Normal world just sort of disappears.
Think so?
I know, so I've seen it every week, man.
All the life, I was high for the good times. I was high for the good times. So I'll be better, I'll be better.
I like Manly.
I'll be better, I'll be better.
We're almost there, buddy.
Okay, one last thing. Who do you think's feeling the heat tonight then?
That would be Tedesco, wouldn't it, up against his old team?
Go Tigers!
We are back here live at McDonald's Jones Stadium, ready here for the second game of Pool A, the fourth game in the Newcastle Nines tournament, with the Auckland Warriors getting ready to take on the Manly Warringah Seagulls. in what is expected to be a very tough encounter for both teams in the Nines format. I am joined here in the commentary box, this time by Jack Carl. Jack, what's your thoughts on this game? What are you looking forward to about it?
Can I say everything? I'm so excited for this matchup. I mean, it is going to be an absolute cracker. The Warriors getting on the field for the first time in this tournament. And Manly, well, they certainly need to rebound in this match after they lost a 16-point lead to the Eels and lost their first match of the tournament. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting match. I think the Warriors should take this home. I mean, if the Eels can upset Manly, then I don't see why the Warriors can't. But Manly are going to need to fight very hard because they need to win this to stay alive.
Yeah, look, it was a very different encounter than we expected between them and the Eels. You know, it actually started how we expected. You know, Manly picked Manly to run over the Parramatta Eels, but quite the opposite happened in fact. Well, not necessarily the exact opposite, but they were up by 16 points, and then within the final 5 minutes of that match, Eels just clicked. Brody Kennedy, Luke Short played very well. Attila Saturday was getting meters going, and just suddenly, Manly lost that match. Not something we would have expected from Manly, was it?
Yeah, no, not at all. Completely
As
uncharacteristic.
Broden Thompson up the middle.
Thompson.
Sorry to cut you off there, Jack. But Nahana Broden Thompson goes over. And the Warriors hit the lead early here at Newcastle.
Wow, what was that? That came out of nowhere. First set, the Warriors just seemed to cruise up the field straight through Manly's defensive line. And Nahana Broughton Thompson, he scores the first try for the Warriors, and it's a bonus zone try.
Yeah, Broden Thompson caught Chaz Dingo out of position, obviously, traditionally a fullback. Moved to the halves last season, back at fullback for the Nines tournament. And I think it was a flick from Chance Bunce, it might have been. Probably one of the best players, if not the best player in the SRL. Flicked it back on the inside, Nahana Broden Thompson charging onto it. And he ran an angle. Dingo wasn't able to cover quick enough, and just like that, the Warriors have scored early as straight up the middle for rookie Jimmy Ralph. He'll get caught there just past the 30. Now it's Manly's turn with the ball. This goes short there to Brad Goodwin now. Seagulls, they're already under the pump here. Not something they're used to. See how they react to it as that's a knock on there. Matt Harris, the skipper, dropping it there. And just like that, Warriors are going to have the ball.
Well, poor error there from Manly, and Warriors straight back onto the attack. They have a chance to take this lead even more. I mean, Manly, they really need to hold out here.
As Nico Bro pushes forward, he'll be just meters off the line. They're going to give a penalty. Decision time for the Warriors. And they're going to do exactly what they need to do. They just keep on the attack. No reason to take the two there. As it goes short there to Sean Walker. Quick off his feet there. Got around Blair Curtin, but Dingo managed to cover for him. As it goes short there to John Nadai pushing forward. The veteran prop forward. It's taken there. Goes Buds. He probably could have gone himself. Oh. Short ball there to Snicko Bro. And Snicko Bro's going to cross over in his first SRL match and the first match of the Nines.
Well, within the SRL community, he has been talking the talk, and he's now walked the walk, pushing over. I think that's one of the Punch brothers. I can't quite remember who, but certainly a seasoned veteran. And Snicko Bro gets his first try in the top grade. Great to see.
Yeah, Snicko Bro, a little bit of a smaller prop forward there. And Daniel Punch it was, just running at him. Only about chest height there for Big Daniel Punch. And it just got there and had pushed forward, got down low. Lots of leg drive there from the rookie. And he managed to just push his way forward. And just like that once more, the Warriors have scored here. And Manly are down 13-0 in 3 minutes. What's happening at Newcastle? A curse has been bestowed on Manly.
Well, the Warriors have picked up where the Parramatta Eels left off. I mean, quick tries at the start of the match. I mean, Manly are going to need to channel their inner Parramatta, maybe have a little bit of a comeback. Will Kay, great run, that will help. But they need to pull their self together because their defense is not on right now.
Will Kay, a good run there. It's now going to be Brad Goodwin. He had a very good first game there, Brad Goodwin, although maybe last 5 minutes to remember is Will Kay. Get up the middle. Gets a pass back on the inside to Blair Curtin. But he's going to be caught there by, I think that's Pat Corcoran there. Fourth tackle now. It's going to go Jimmy Ralph back to Will Kay. He's going to put it high. A brilliant testing kick here. Taken there by Tyler Weston, but he can't get his arms free. and the Warriors survive. A good defensive set there by the Warriors.
Well, you cannot take your eyes off this match. This is just so much happening. It's end-to-end footy. It's the embodiment of the nines. This is very entertaining football, and Warriors did very well to hold off Manly there. Another check in their box for the Warriors. Great stuff.
And they're going to continue, you'd hope, to put the pressure on Manly as third tackle now, Stickerbro taking it up to the 30. Goes over to Chance Buds. He's straight out the middle. We know how strong quick he is. Gets a pass over. Interception by Malachi Booth. We know he's away. I think he's going to go the distance. Sean Walker's chasing, but he's not going to get to him. And Malachi Booth scores the opening try for the Manly Seagulls and perhaps gets them back in the game.
Well, I cannot believe what I'm watching. This football is so entertaining. Anything could happen, and Malachi Booth just picks it off. And John Nano and Sean Walker certainly aren't going to be catching him. He's way too quick, and he scores a bonus zone try.
The Season 4 Sim VP medalist Malachi Booth playing on the wing and earned it. He's a raging winger, probably has to be the best in the comp, and an intercept there. It was very quiet in the first encounter, or the first game for the Manly Seagulls, but an intercept there thrown by Chance Barnes sees him go away. I thought Sean Walker was going to get him, but he just weaved his way in and out of the defence to make it to the try line there.
Yeah, it's great stuff there from Booth, and he knows how to get himself to the line. He's a veteran at that. He can certainly score a try from anywhere in the park, and he's just kept Manly's hopes alive. It'll be interesting to see how they respond in defense now.
As Sean Walker up the middle now. Manly, they can't keep letting easy meters like that. They're doing that all day so far. As it goes, long pass over to Nanai. Finds it off on a Chance Buds. He's going to be hard to stop. Gets past Thinker, but Brad Goodwin with an absolutely amazing tackle there on Chance Buds. Goes over to Isaac Simons. Gets past one. Simons is in with a try now.
Wow. Isaac Simons. I saw him at fullback on the team sheet. I was a bit confused as to why. He's had a good impact on this game so far. He's looked dangerous through the middle. And he gets his try. The Warriors, they're hard to stop at the moment. And Manly need to fix up their defense. They can't keep going tit for tat for the Warriors because at the moment, it seems like they just have a little bit more strike.
As Bunce is going to miss the conversion. Sways away to the right-hand side. And the Warriors lead the Seagulls 17 points to 7. I think Manly are lucky to still win this, considering that the only try I've scored is an intercept. They're going to have to just defend better, and they have to score off this set, I think. They have to give them something before half-time. As Malachi Booth takes it up there and takes it to the 20.
Well, I think we saw with the last game, the Eels and Manly game, scoring's not too big of a thing. It's conceding. They need to not concede before halftime. They need to regroup. They need to get their stuff back together. They just cannot afford to let the Warriors continue to extend this lead, and they need to put some pressure back onto them.
This is looking better from Manly as Jimmy Ralph takes it himself there. Gets up past the 50. An alright set from Manly, but considering how far the Warriors have been going, they could have done a lot better as it goes deep down to Braun Thompson there. He's in space there. A good tackle there by, I think, was Tyler Weston. His eyes lit up for a second there, Braun Thompson, as it goes Corcoran. Gives it short there to Nanai. Pushes up past the 40. Second tackle now. Goes Bunce again. Probably been up there with the best players, minus that one intercept try we saw earlier. That's the third tackle now. Goes over to Daniel Keat. Another one of the rookies. He'll get pushed back there, the big front rower. That's going to be the fourth tackle now. A better defensive set there by Manly, though. As Bunce is going to kick it. Not the greatest kick from Bunce. Maybe looking for an outside runner there. And Shaw Walker doesn't find it, and Tyler Weston takes it. This is good stuff from Manly. Better defensive set, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, that little mistake there from Buncey will certainly help them as Dingo carves through the middle of him. Simon's having to make a very good tackle. Yeah, that'll definitely help Manly. They need to probably score. I mean, there's only 15 seconds left. They might get one more play.
As they go out to Daniel Punch looking for a try, he gets the ankle tap there, slows him down. Will they get a play to with a hot laying on him? And they won't. As we go to halftime, the Warriors leading the Seagulls 17 points to 7. Chance Bunce gets the ball back on the tee, ready to kick off here against the Manly Seagulls, who are down, but I wouldn't say out yet, would you?
Yeah, no, definitely not. We see so often in these nines tournaments that momentum swings, but the momentum has definitely been with the Warriors for most of this game. I think Manly will need to do it relatively quickly. They need to get themselves back in the fight, a little bit of confidence, but I certainly wouldn't rule them out yet. They're going to have an uphill battle, but if any team were to do it, I could see Manly being the one.
As Brad Goodwin on the 30 now. Gives it there to Daniel Punch, up the middle now. He gets an offload, in fact, to Jimmy Ralph, the rookie. In open space, a great tackle there by Corcoran.
It was certainly a good tackle there by Corcoran and the Warriors now. They're going to be hot on the defense. Sorry.
As Tyler Weston.
Not sure what that means.
Sorry to cut you off there. He's nearly got over there, Tyler Weston. He'll play it there, though. Short ball there to Curtin. And they need to score this set, the Manly Seagulls. Fourth tackle. 10.5 minutes gone in this game. It needs to be this set. It's going to be a good kick there by Jimmy Ralph. It hits the bar, and Malachi gets a double.
Wow, wow, wow. That has hit the post. I thought for sure they were going to catch it. But no, it just ends up hitting the post, and Malachi Booth beats, I think it was Simons back there, to the ball. Just diving for it. That's a good effort play there from Booth. And Manly, they're really back in this now. A bonus zone try definitely helps.
Yeah, they say so often, dive on loose balls. Do not let... When you see a loose ball dive at Simons, he was a bit slow to react there. And Malachi Booth just sees it and jumps on it. Not giving any opportunity for the Warriors to get that ball. And although you could say it was a little bit lucky for Manly hit the crossbar, I'll argue that with saying that it was a great effort there for Malachi Booth to get on that ball first. As Simons, straight up the kickoff, goes nearly into their own half. What a great run by Simons. As now a penalty, that's not going to help.
Oh. Yeah, no, that just puts... That completely washes away all of their efforts there. The Manly Seagulls, that could lead to a try to the Warriors. And could completely cancel out their hard work.
And Corcoran will tap it there. We have to see something. A decent defensive setting by Manly. That's not going to help. Daniel Keat with the big run up the middle there. Gets over to 20 now. He'll play it there. We'll go short side here. Long pass from Jenna White. Over to Chance. Buns. Finds an offload. In fact, Daniel Keat. The hulking front row of a rookie's going to go over. And that's not going to help the Manly Seagulls case. And it's going to be much harder for them to come back now.
Well, it's been the night of the rookie. Snicko Burrow getting the try earlier. And now Daniel Keat, he's a big boy. He is massive. Daniel Keat hulking over everyone, hulking over Matt Harris. And he's no small man. And he gets his first try in the SRL.
Yeah, he was one of those kids back in under 8s that used to just sort of get the ball, give it to me, and he'd just palm off about 10 blokes to the try line every single time. He's a big boy, Daniel Keat. He's about the size, I'd say about the size of a Jesse Bennett type player. And he's definitely someone to look out for in his rookie season, Daniel Keat, and he gets a try in the 9s. As Buns kicks off, down to Will Kay. They need to find something, he just takes it himself. In fact, he gets into the clutch of Daniel Keat. Not a man you want to be running at will. But, nonetheless, they play on. It goes back to Matt Harris. They can still win this. The Seagulls, they're not entirely out of it yet. But it has to be soon as he goes short there to Will Kay. Can't find the pass to Malachi Booth. Third tackle now. Goes to Jimmy Ralph. Taken there. And that's going to be the fourth tackle. And that's going to be an error. That's not what Manly needed. And it just gets tougher for the Seagulls from here.
Yeah, it certainly does. And time is running out. They certainly need to stop making mistakes. I mean, they could afford it earlier in the game. Not so much now. Only 5 minutes left on the clock. They need to tighten up. They've really got to stop the Warriors from scoring in this set too. They're on the clock here, the Seagulls.
As Daniel Keat again, he's been terrific today. Daniel Keat up the middle again. Manly nearly created a path to the try line there if it wasn't for Blair Curtin making a tackle. We're going to have an error here, it seems, from the Warriors. 4-1 call for Manly hand. If it did, it definitely went backwards though. And the Seagulls survive once more.
Yeah, well, a lifesaver there from the Seagulls. Or the Seagulls, rather. And they need to probably score in this set or the next. They're certainly not out of it yet, but like I said before, time is running out. The Warriors, though, keeping them down in their own half. I mean, it's third tackle. They're only 30 metres out. And I think that's been the story of the day so far.
Brad Goodwin breaks up the middle. Remember, if Manly and Tier, just 4 games into the... Benelux here, sorry. Just 4 games into the ninth tournament, their day will be over. And before it's really begun, has brought a Thompson down a great run.
Well, they would have also played their final match. This could be their final match. Obviously getting the bye in the next round of pool games.
Yeah, they just need to be careful. This could be... They could end here, Manly Seagulls. They have to find something. A small loss to the Eels will help them in the forward against the Parliament if they can find something in this last 3 minutes. That's a poor kick taken by Tyler Weston. He's going to get caught there. But a poor chance Bud's kick may put Manly back in the game. Weston plays it there. Curtin. Jimmy Ralph. Short ball there to Daniel Pudge. Pushing forward. They hold him down for a little bit. Short ball there to Jimmy Ralph. He can't find the line. Third tackle now. Will K takes it. It'll be taken ever to the last. It needs to be now. They need to get points right now. Preferably a bonus zone try. Goes Jimmy Ralph. He puts it high. Very high, in fact. Taken there brilliantly by Sean Walker. And I think that's about it for Manly.
Well, yeah, Bunce provided them the opportunity to put some points on the board. They were unable to. And with only 2 minutes left, unless a miracle happens, I don't see it going any other way than the Warriors winning and Manly's Nines tournament being over. It's a surprising result. I don't think many people would have believed you if you had said Manly would get knocked out before the game even crossed.
As Chance Bunce with an offload, second phase footage from the Warriors sees Chance Bunce score, and that's going to be it over. Red Rover. The Warriors are in. Chance Bunce finishes it off. He's in a mixed bag tonight, Buncey, but he'll take that one nicely. Brilliant try there.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Beautiful little offload from the veteran, John Nanai. And no one's quick enough to catch Bunce. He's the best in the game. No one's catching him at all. He gets the bonus zone try. And like I was saying before, Manly out in their first 2 games. I mean, not even 5 games have been played yet in the tournament. And Manly, the previous champions in season 2 and 3, they're done for.
Yeah, it's just...
Certainly wouldn't have been expected.
It's crazy for Manly considering, you know, they only just ended a 20-game running one. And obviously, losses don't count to... 9 tournaments don't count towards that, but if you do count it, that's 4 losses in a row they've just had. As Dingo up the middle, that's a good kick return. Maybe they're looking for a consolation try in this final 50 seconds. Obviously not a great night, but it'll be an alright way to end it as Will K pushes forward. Second tackle. Goes inside there to Dingo. He'll play it there, third tackle. Now obviously, the loss here from Manly does set up a great final game here between the Eels and the Warriors. Coming later in the day, where the winner will pretty much, although not entirely confirmed, will pretty much be going to the finals, while the loser will probably be out, although again not confirmed, as Simons takes the run.
The winner will just be in the finals.
Or that too, yeah, pretty much. Actually, yeah, they will just be in the finals no matter what. As Stickerbro takes the final tackle. He had a good game today. Daniel Keep there. He's about double the size of anyone else on the field. Probably minus John Nanai, but you can tell the sadness on the Seagulls' faces, realizing they've just been knocked out of the Nines tournament before it even really begun. With the Warriors taking home that victory 30 points to 14.
Yeah, crazy match. I would never have guessed this coming into the tournament. Snicko Bro and Daniel Keat, props to them. I get that it's not a proper SRL match, but they scored their first tries in the top grade, if you want to count that. Bunce had a mixed bag of a night. All the Manly players played probably under par. Yeah, there's not too much to say. I mean, Manly just didn't really come to this tournament with enough skill, I guess.
Yeah, it was an interesting night from Chance Bunce. Obviously, 3 tries to try, nothing to cough at. But he had a very mixed bag, had a couple errors in his game. But the fact he had those errors, he made up for them in every single compartment other than that.
Oh, yeah, 100% he did. I mean, 200 running meters, 3 tries and a try. I didn't quite realize he had his hand in that many of the Warriors' tries.
One try. and I believe it might have been the... Actually, in fact, I can't pick out what try it was, but he only missed out on one try involvement, which is actually incredible.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Jack Carl, for joining me in this one. Obviously, next up, don't go anywhere, because next up, we do in fact have the Panthers taking on the Raiders. We'll see you then.
What a sight that is. And you have the best seat in the house. And now Simonson's sprinting upfield. Edwards gets across. That is outstanding. And here's a kick for Suwali. Suwali up the the catch from this freak of an athlete.
9 is Australia's home of the greatest footy.
2-point field goal. Bang!
By a long shot.
Oh, he done it! He did that! We have seen it all! Here we go!
The best games of every round. State of Origin and Grand Final exclusive.
What a moment in Origin history!
It's all here, live, free, and great.
It's a footy fan stream.
Welcome back to McDonald's Jones Stadium. It's the Panthers taking on the Raiders, which will be a hectic clash. The Raiders need to win if they are to progress to the next stage of the competition. The Panthers coming in for their first game. I'm your SRL Mines Commissioner, Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by Schmocklin Schmartin, and it's looking like a great game today.
Yeah, it certainly is, Will Kay. It should be a terrific clash here. Both sides, you know, really coming with a lot of hopes. Obviously, the Raiders going all the way to the grand final, while the Panthers, a little bit disappointing season. But a new look side there should see this clash be an interesting one. Obviously, with the Broncos winning their first game against the Raiders need to win in order to stay in a little bit of a hope to make the finals. While the Panthers, if they win, it will see the Panthers take on the Broncos for a spot in the finals.
Absolutely it will. They've been looking like a very different team in the warm-ups that I've been watching. You know, like the way that they've lined up for this Nines competition is very exciting indeed. So like, I guess the biggest signing is Kane Chapman-Kenny coming all the way from Manly down to Penrith. I think he'll make a big impact, especially in this Nines format here.
Yeah, you know, he's a very, very good fullback, KCK. Obviously, New South Wales Blues representative as Marshall Edwards. Ex-Panther goes up the middle here, but he makes an error. But yeah, as we talked about, KCK, he has a lot of footwork, a very talented fullback. Obviously, can also play pretty much anyone in the back line. He's someone to watch out for tonight.
Absolutely. We just saw his involvement already in that defense on that tackle, and Marshall Edwards just making it and covering the whole way of the field and eventually tiring him out enough to just make his strike and force an error. That's perfect work and proving what a successful player that Kane Chapman-Kenny is. There's an early kick here from Cody Mansour. He's looking for a 40-20. He doesn't quite have the distance to find the touchline. Barnes is going to pick it up. He goes down the open side, gets reeled in there by the Panthers defense, and that'll be the first tackle there.
Yeah, you got to watch out for Eli Barnes. He's a very dangerous player with the football in hand. Obviously, he's earned 2 SimVP awards, obviously, though. You know, a bit hard to tell when he's been joint SimVP winner twice. But he's definitely the Raiders' danger man. I expect him to excel in this Nines format, though.
Absolutely. He had a good outing in the last round against the Broncos. Obviously, a heartbreaking defeat for them. Very happy Broncos players, though. As Luke Thompson now looks to play the ball. Rossini goes right to Mataus. Puts a kick in down to the wing of Poit. And he breaks the line through one. Can't get around the inside man there. The Eli Barnes looked like he had him covered anyway. as we have Chapman Kenny going to punch. Lachlan Martin, sorry, through the line. Ben Punch now. He's been involved twice in that one play there, filling in at hooker at the moment. Crutcher goes inside ball to Cody Mansour now in that half jersey. Held down in the tackle there for a bit. Referee tells him to get off. It's Lachlan Martin gets another run. Passes it off to Callum Irwin. Irwin breaks the tackle and he's down for the first try of the Nines tournament.
Beautiful try there by the Penrith Panthers. Lachlan Martin straight up the middle there. Got a beautiful pass away to Callum Irwin. Looked like he was getting caught here, but the tackle of Luke Thompson, I think that is, just shrugged away there. Callum Irwin. Premiership winner with the Cowboys, come over to Penrith, and he scores the opening try for the Panthers at the Newcastle Nines tournament.
Absolutely, it was a captivating run there from the captain, Lachlan Martin, and a perfect pass, just perfectly timed and weighted down to Callum Irwin, who broke the tackle and shrugged off the Raiders' defense to get 6 points on the board for his team. We have Crutcher now kicking off, goes straight to Rabbitohs. He decides to take it himself and takes it straight up and hard back into that skipper there, Lachlan Martin, taking on the veteran forward. As Tim James now in that 9 jersey, more of a conventional lock as he looks to play the ball. Lecky Tua driving forward and just pushing Ben Punch back there. Rossini goes to Thompson. Thompson through the line. He's got a bit of pace there. He can't get around Chapman Kenny. He had him covered. And I think it looked like Isaac Edwards was on his outside. Ash Crutcher was on his outside regardless. As we have Rossini now kicking it. Morrison trying to get through, but he just can't quite get past Lecky Tua there. He's going to play the ball at the 20. Lachlan Martin bumps off one. He's through the line. Eli Barnes wraps him up. No fullback at home. We'll see what the Panthers decide to do. Ben Punch goes right to Mansour. Spreads it to Chapman Cheney. Steps one. It's going to be a foot race here between Barnes and Chapman Cheney. No chance there. Chapman Cheney was covered for all money. Eli Barnes reeling him in, but they're really testing his abilities in defense right now as Irwin now pushing forward in the tackle. He's going to be at the 10 to play the ball. It's the 4th. Last one of the set. He plays the ball. Goes to Mansour. Mansour puts in a little grubber there. Collected nicely by Tim James. And the Panthers' attack is diffused there by the Raiders.
It was a good set there by both teams. Obviously, the Raiders marching downfield. Got a good kick away. And the Panthers marched back right there. Mansour probably would have liked to be a little bit deeper into the end goal. But it was collected there by one of the Raiders players. I can't exactly tell who that was. But it was a good take nonetheless. And now the Raiders once again have the ball.
It was the veteran forward, Tim James, the ex-Eels hooker, who collected that ball. And I guess that expertise has come from a lot of playing and having to be in those kind of crucial positions. And once again, he just shows off his experience. As Point now through the line. He breaks one, he steps one rather, and he's just gets reeled in by Eli Barnes. I thought the referee was a player there for a second, but no. Maybe someone needs to sign him as they go right now. Mansour goes to Morrison. Morrison can't get around the Raiders' defense. Driven back onto the 30. He's going to play the ball. Punch goes to Crutcher. Spreads it to Mansour. Driving forward. He's going to be at the 20 now. Punch goes right to Crutcher. Martin gets an offload back inside to Ben Punch. He can't get around the Raiders' defense, but looking very dangerous indeed. We'll see what the Panthers look to do here as Casey K takes in that dummy half roll. He goes to Mansour. He puts up a very high kick there. Is sitting there, and Demando takes it very nicely indeed. The Raiders once again just making sure that the Panthers cannot get any points on the board.
Yeah, the Raiders have been very good defensively so far. I want to point out something. They seem to be targeting their ex-teammate, Jacob Morrison, in defense. He's struggling a lot so far to break the line, Morrison. We have a lot of his Raiders teammates getting around him, sort of know what his tricks are, and have handled him nicely so far, the Raiders.
Absolutely, they have, as Tim James looking to play the ball here. It's the last tackle of the set, and it looks like an error. No, it's come off the head, they say. Rabbitohs through the line. He can't get any further than the 50, and it's going to be a changeover in the middle of the field.
Yeah, poor last tackle option from the Raiders. They really should have been trying to, get a kick away, put the Panthers under a bit of pressure just before halftime, and they cannot concede here. 30 seconds to survive. They have to last until halftime.
Absolutely, they do. As Lachlan Martin now taking another run. He's been dominant in his team so far, leading them to pretty much a very successful half, being down the Raiders' end pretty much for all of it. As Callum Irwin now taking a hit. It's the last 15 seconds of the half, rather. And it looks like Malchus has gone down the edge, and he's put it down. What a try from the veteran forward.
Luke Malchus thought he was a winger there. What's he doing on the wing there? But he just ran out wide there. Must have been a set play, because they just positioned him on the wing there, and 2 Raiders defenders there. Rabbitohs, and I can't exactly tell. That might have been Tim James there too. Can't make the tackle on Malchus, and just like that, Panthers are going to extend their lead just before the break.
Indeed, and it goes to 10-0 at half time. We'll see you in the second half. Welcome back to the SRL Newcastle Nines. It's the Penrith Panthers taking on the Canberra Raiders. If you're just joining us, the Penrith Panthers scoring a try to extend the lead to 10-0 right on the final buzzer. Luke Malchus, the man pretending to be a winger briefly. I don't think there's any man I'd want to run less at me if I was a winger. As they kick off here, the Raiders, and KCK takes them the full. Lachlan Martin, as he crosses the 30 for his team. That's another strong run from the captain. He had a good first half, didn't he?
Yeah, it was very strong there, leading the Panthers out front, as KCK now down the wing.
KCK embracing his inner winger, back to Manly days. Point now going to go to Mansour. Crutcher through the line. Ash Crutcher, will he get there? No, Eli Barnes somehow pulls off a tackle, and Crutcher just gets cut down short. Punch goes to Mansour, who goes to Malchus, and Malchus is in for a double.
Luke Malchus, the Panthers alpha male, has scored 2 tries in as many minutes as I can count. He's just scored one at the other end on the wing. This time a beautiful short ball from Cody Mansour. He's been very good in his first outing for Penrith here today. Gives it short to Luke Malchus, and he crashes over for the Panthers' 3rd try of the day.
He's been very, very successful so far, Cody Mansour. He's been involved in quite a lot of plays. He's been pretty impressive to watch. A fullback by trade, but obviously in the half position tonight. I think that the Panthers leadership team will be very happy with his performance indeed. As we have Crutcher now kicking, as Barnes takes it on the full, straight through Eli Barnes. Will Crutcher have the pace to get him? I don't know if he will. He does, and he reels him just in. That's a great tackle there from Ash Crutcher.
Ash Crutcher, brilliant tackle there, but then it's still on the attack here to Raiders.
Tua now through the line, offload inside to Lindis. He can't get around them, the number 6 for the Raiders. Rossini goes to Matus. Edwards steps one, and Edwards is in for the first try for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's all the Raiders need to get back on in this game. Eli Barnes with an absolute brilliant run. A great chase down by Ash Crutcher, but it wasn't enough. Marshall Edwards, against his old club, comes up with a try. Just up the middle there. We know he's good at stepping the line, and he has a bit of footwork, Marshall Edwards, and he was over just like that.
Aiden Chapman Kenny did his best to contain Marshall Edwards there, but just stood no chance as the very young winger just puts it down brilliantly. It's a great play there from the Raiders. Obviously departing from the Panthers last season. Be happy to score against his former team.
Yeah, look, Marshall Edwards, he's there's a lot of footwork, Marshall Edwards. He often is underestimated by his opponents. And, he'll love that one, Marshall. Obviously, Penrith didn't want to let him go, but he ended up ultimately signing with the Raiders, and the Raiders are very happy that he's the first one to score for them.
And they would be. He looks like an all-round winger indeed, especially with his 99 speed. I don't think any captain would be overlooking him. As Point now out on the wing. That's beautiful ball. He doesn't. Oh no, he does have the pace. He breaks the tackle. Inside ball back to Martin. Lachlan Martin plays the ball quickly. Crutcher goes himself. He's going to push. No, he's not. I don't know how Point didn't score moments ago. As we have Point now steps one. He gets his try now.
Beautiful play there by Penrith to go back in it. Luke Malchus, I think it was, with a brilliant pass over the top to Nate Pruitt. And, I don't know how he didn't score originally. He's trying to swerve in to maybe go for the bonus zone try, but he just takes a hit up here. Matheus and Luke Thompson, very poor defense by the Raiders there, but the Panthers extend their lead.
Indeed, and if this Nines tournament is anything to go by for the future SRL season that's coming up. I think we'll have a couple updates. Previous in Manly Seagulls getting eliminated. It'll be disappointing there as the 2 times premiership winners went down. And now the Raiders making it all the way to the grand final in the last season. Now going down to the lower end of the table from last season, Penrith Panthers. I don't know if this will reflect the future as Eli Barnes gets an inside ball to Leonidas. Doesn't get anywhere though. As I was saying, the Penrith Panthers being very successful. Hopefully they can replicate this in the SRL. As Tua now through the line tries to step on the inside. Rossini, just reeled in by Lachlan Martin. He's having a blinder of a game, Lachlan Martin. Eli Barnes goes right to Mataus. Can't get much ground there. It's going to be the last tackle here for the Raiders. Some of the best field position they've had all game. Rossini goes to Tim James, and Tim James gets it down.
Yeah, Tim James just pushing his way over there. And if they get this goal, we're going to be within 6 points of the Panthers, considering it's 4 tries to 2. The goal kicking off the Panthers letting them down a little bit. And that could be a worrying sign for Penrith in the future with Ash Crutcher's goal kicking attempts haven't been great, as you'd expect Luke Thompson to get this, and he does, and it's now 6 points in it.
Yeah, that's very disappointing there. I don't think Ash Crutcher will be happy with himself, but he's really the best option they've got. They've got no big boot archetypes. And I guess Ash Crutcher is really, at the 60 kicking overall, is the best they've got there. As they go down deep to Kane Chapman-Kenny, straight through. I don't know what happened there. He kind of swerved and stopped very suddenly. Maybe got stuck in a bit of mud on the rough Newcastle ground. He's going to play the ball. Ben Punch goes left. Mansour crosses the ball back inside. Morrison, against his former club, breaks the line. Barnes reels him in. That's a great tackle there from the Sim VP winner. As Lachlan Martin now goes through the line. Tim James reels him in. Gets put down just before the 30. Punch goes to Morrison. Morrison steps another one. He's been very elusive tonight indeed. Jacob Morrison is going to play the ball. Ben Punch goes left. Mansour puts it high. Puts it very, very high. Is anyone home? Yes, Eli Barnes is. Lachlan Martin puts a shot on a bit late, but the referee says it was caught in goal. They'll go out to the 20 for a tap.
Yeah, very good set there. Penrith. A little bit disappointing kick to end it off there. The bomb went up. No real contestant other than Lachlan Martin, but he wasn't tall enough to reach up there. And Eli Barnes gets above the pack. Makes a brilliant catch and in goal. Now the Raiders start their set on the 20.
With Leondis now through the line. Making his way past the 40. He's brought down by a pair of Panthers. I think it's Callum Irwin and... No, sorry. It's not Callum Irwin. It is Ben Punch and Lachlan Martin there. There's Tua now playing the ball. It's going to be the last just before the 50. Rossini goes to Luke Thompson. Thompson puts a kick down to the wing of Jacob Morrison. Morrison, he's through the line here. And a great ankle tap from Eli Barnes. Potentially try-saving tackle there. As Ben Punch goes down to Ash Crutcher. Crutcher driven back in that tackle, not getting around the defense of the Raiders. Ben Punch goes to Mansour, goes to Martin. Martin, another one through the line. I'd like to see his meters. He's absolutely been eating them for breakfast. As Martin plays the ball on the 30. Malchus, he's got a bit of space here, Luke Malchus. He gets an inside ball to Morrison, and Morrison's got a try of his own.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there by the Panthers. Luke Malchus, what a game he's having. 2 tries and a try assist. Not a bad outing from the Panthers' big front rower. And Jacob Morrison, He's struggled to get any space in the first half, but in the second half, he just can't get his hands off the ball. Making brilliant meters in the second half, and he scores another one for the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, it was a great inside ball. Luke Malchus has been absolutely everywhere, and he's been doing really good ball playing as well. I think he'll be impressed with his performance, and so will the Penrith leadership. And Jacob Morrison, he's just been great on that right edge, and he's finally got a try for himself against his former club, and sealing the win for the Panthers. With Crutcher now kicking off. Eli Barnes taking it on the full. He goes himself. No time to lose there with a pass. They're trying to get to business. Hopefully get this for and against into a bit better shape. Although I don't think it will matter. As Mataus now takes a hit up. The Panthers not letting them have any glimpse of daylight as Tua now.
And what's interesting about this is, sorry to cut you off there, Kay, is now that the Raiders have lost here, they've also out of the finals race. Just like that, we have 2 of the finalists teams from last season in the Manly Seagulls and the Canberra Raiders. ruled out of making the finals in the Newcastle Nines tournament.
This will be very disappointing for the Raiders. They're out for good for this tournament. The Panthers happy to get their first win of the Nines tournament, and hopefully trying to get a win over the Broncos in the next game to ensure they're in the game in the finals. A 9 from 9 completion, 53% possession. That's great stuff there from the Panthers. Lachlan Martin, the man of the match. We'll have a look at some of the meters. Lachlan Martin, 147 meters. And Luke Malkus, 75. 2 tries and a try assist for himself. I think he'll be happy with that outing tonight.
Yeah, I think Luke Malkus, he was probably up there for me. 5 line breaks, a try assist, 2 tries. He's just in the right place at the right time all night, it seemed. And a very good performance from him.
It's Eli Barnes really carrying the weight of the Raiders on his shoulders. The only one to crack 100 meters, and he cracked it pretty well, 149. Good for him. You know, it was a bit disappointing from the Raiders. I think they'll look at themselves and have another look before they start this season. Going to season 5, they'll be looking to get at their inaugural premiership, as they came so close last season. But alas, I think we'll move on to the next game before we run out of time. Thank you for joining me. It's the Panthers 25 and the Raiders 12. We'll see you very shortly in the next game. Welcome back to McDonald's Jones Stadium. It's the 6th game of the Newcastle Nines tournament. It's the Cowboys taking on the Rabbitohs, and this is looking to be a great outing. The premiers from last season taking on the Rabbitohs, who have been in the grand final so many times, as they run out here in their new jerseys. And it's the man there, Chris Lord, leading out his team in the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys' first game of the tournament. The Rabbitohs, their first game, they won against the Knights. And if they win this game, then they're guaranteed a spot in the finals. Likewise, the Cowboys will be wanting to look for a win and then win the next game against the Knights to find themselves in the finals. So a bit of on the line here for both teams, as it's going to be Damien Moana, the man, to kick them off.
Yeah, look, a brilliant game this should be. The Rabbitohs, you know, they had a very good game last week against the Knights. Kept them shut out. The home side shut out. 19 points to 0. Cowboys, the Premiers, looking to get their season started. The Nines tournament started after, you know, being the last team to come out here in the Nines tournament. I think both teams will expect to win this one. You know, Rabbitohs, very good last game, while the Cowboys, they're the Premiers. You can't expect another harder clash other than against the Premiers.
No, you can't, as the Rabbitohs here showing off a bit of ball work. It's the 3rd tackle, and they're at the 10 here, just throwing the ball around nice and early, and the Cowboys just struggling to contain it. As Dixon now through the middle, Kevin Dixon only just reeled in. I don't know who it was making the tackle, but whoever it was, they've done a brilliant job there. Hellier putting in a kick. Not enough chase on it, and Arnaldo Takuri is going to be... I think he's been driven back into his own goal here. Yes, I will. The Cowboys will drop out.
That was an absolutely brilliant set by the Rabbitohs. You know, they're just leading up the middle. Their forwards are taking good runs. Liam Ryder had a brilliant run. Kevin Dixon only got over. They couldn't get over. Daniel Hellier puts in a little grubber kick. And in the end... as that's a very wonky ball to be thrown. But in the end, they get a 3-peat set. Let's see if they can use it now.
That was a huge ball down from the wing into the chest of Aaron O'Hare. It's almost a 50-meter pass, I reckon, as we have them playing the ball here. Thorne goes to White. White, Hellier. Hellier doesn't go to the outside in Tyrone Clay. Decides against it. Clay's going to get the ball here in dummy half. White goes to O'Hare. O'Hare driven back in the tackle. It's going to be the last here. James Thorne looking around, seeing what to do here, as he goes right to Hellier. Hellier absolutely folded in the tackle, but they let him get back up. He's kicked it across to White. White, he's going to be driven down. I don't know what the Cowboys were doing there. I think the tackle was complete, but it wasn't. But very lucky to hold on there.
Oh, no!
Oh! As Aaron O'Hare snatches the ball mid-air, the Cowboys under an absolute assault here. I don't know how much longer they can hold on. Liam Ryan driven back in that tackle there in the halves once again. He's going to play the ball. They're inside the 10 here. Hayden Davis driving forward. He's going to be turned on his back. And that's very, very good defense there from the Cowboys. Thomas Wallace, the man to initiate that tackle. Hayden Davis going to play it at the 10. Ryan spreads it to Clay. Clay, oh, and he's got in a high tackle here. I think it was Moscow going very high indeed. And James Thorne, he's going to go for the 2-point penalty goal here. We'll see how he goes. As the camera doesn't really show it, but the penalty goal is successful. And the Rabbitohs take the lead 2-0.
Yeah, that's a very interesting start from the Rabbitohs. You know, they've had a lot of ball. Cowboys made a lot of errors. The Cowboys will get their own possession now. I don't know why. Why did the Rabbitohs go for the 2 there? I know they get the 2 points as they give away another penalty here. I don't know why they went for the 2 points, considering they're on the line. You know, if they can't score, the Cowboys are still stuck in their own end. And 2 points in the nines isn't really that much, considering how quickly teams can score. I don't like the decision to go for the 2 there.
Now, as Kausakawa gets his head taken off, I agree with you there, Lachlan. It's a bit confusing as to the reasons for not just pushing on, trying to get some more points on the board through a try or a bonus point try even. I'm not too sure what the thought process behind that was, but we move on as Kobe Johnson now through the line, weaving, ducking and weaving, can't get quite around the Rabbitohs defense. Almost through there, just didn't quite have the pace. Hugh Snow, inside ball to Campbolo, almost tricked the Rabbitohs there, but last second they get a hand onto him and slow him down enough. Wallace goes to Johnston. Pushing forward, Kobe Johnston. Can he be stopped? I don't think he can. The big man, Kobe Johnston, he's been held up, the referee says.
I don't agree with that. I think it was down. Anyway, we play on now.
I think it was worth a look at the bunker as Campbolo now puts it very high indeed. Clay with a great take there and diffuses that situation.
Yeah, both teams defending so really well so far. I think it's definitely a decent kick there by, I think it was Milan that put it high. Clay with a good catch, but once again, neither team can score a try and it remains 2-0.
As O'Hare now inside ball to Hellier. No such luck there, the Rabbitohs half. Ryan gets a good ball on the outside. Gets it, throws it straight to Luka Moscow. Moscow can't quite get around Kevin Dixon, and thank God for that, because no one's catching Luka Moscow on the trot. As Wallace now goes to Snow, to Curry, through the line, another to Curry. Getting some extra meters for his team, but not quite getting away from the Rabbitohs line. Hugh Snow with one of his own runs now. He's going to play the ball just outside the 20 here. To Curry, another run there. He's going to go down at the 10. They're in good position here, the Cowboys. We'll see what they do as they play the ball. It's going to be Thomas Wallace, the man, going to Hugh Snow. Puts a grubber in. And Almatungi runs onto it. That's a great link up there and a fantastic Cowboys try.
Yeah, good stuff there by the Cowboys. It was a beautiful grubber kick by the rookie. Hugh Snow, his first taste of SRL footy here. A beautiful grubber kick across, and Tyler Amatangi runs onto it. Manages to get a beautiful bounce there. Probably need to show a little bit more urgency there from Aaron here, but an unlucky bounce for him anyway. And Tyler Amatangi crosses for the first try of the match.
Brilliant stuff there from Amatangi, and more importantly, Hugh Snow. A great heads-up footy there, the rookie, really showing what he's got and what he has to produce for the Cowboys. I think he'll be happy with that try there. Almatungi just showing once again why he's one of the best fullbacks in the game. Running onto a perfect ball and just getting some points on his team, completing that play to perfection as Dixon now takes a run for himself.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the Rabbitohs respond here. They need to respond to something. They had a lot of ball in that first little 2-3 minutes of the game. Just couldn't come up with anything other than a penalty goal. Now the Cowboys scored. We want to see them do something here for Rabbitohs.
Yes, it's Hayden Davis now. He's going to play the ball. Ryan, inside ball to Dixon. Dixon, absolutely. I think there was 3 Cowboys players coming in from all sides there on Kevin Dixon. He stood no chance of getting around, but nevertheless, it's the last tackle in. Ryan punting it down, and that's a well-weighted kick, or maybe not. It goes into touch, and it'll be the Cowboys with a tap. That's a bit disappointing last play, but they will push on here.
Yeah, I think they were aiming for Tyron Clam to bounce there, but it just, as you can see in the replay there, he sort of stopped a little bit early, and he didn't time his run very well there, Tyron Clay. You know, if he had timed it a bit better, they definitely could have been a try there, but Leroy, we feel a little bit let down there by Tyron Clay, because although the bounce didn't favour them, it would have been a lot better had Tyron Clay been running onto that ball.
Yes, and I don't think the kick was quite what Tyron Clay was expecting. I think he was expecting a little bit less depth on that, and maybe a little bit more closer to the 10-metre marker rather than so far out. Probably would have given him a chance to run onto it. But, you know, the Rabbitohs, they'll just have to be disappointed with that and move on through the game. As Luka Moscow now is going to play it on the 40. Wallace puts a punt down. It's going to be taken on the full by Kevin Dixon. He stands there for a second. Looks like he was pondering what to do. He's going to play the ball. Last 20 seconds of the half. The Rabbitohs looking to get some points on very quickly. They'll need a long-range try if they are to get any. As Dustin Richards now plays the ball. Goes left to O'Hare. O'Hare spreads it to Clay. Clay can't get around them. The hooter sounds. It's going to be the North Queensland Cowboys leading the South Sydney Rabbitohs 6-2 at the halftime break. We'll see you in the next half. Welcome back to the SRL Newcastle Nines competition. It's the North Queensland Cowboys leading the South Sydney Rabbitohs 6-2 if you're just joining us now. They'll be looking to push on here, both sides, but more importantly, I reckon the Cowboys, they've been looking very, very dangerous in that second part of the first half, and they'll be looking to maintain that pressure on the Rabbitohs, I think.
Yeah, they'll certainly want to do that. You know, they had a very good opening half of footy there from the Cowboys. Defended really well too. They defended like 2 or 3 lines to begin the game. Against the Rabbitohs, it was not easy to do with a 9-man defensive line, but they did it anyway. As they spread it, that's beautiful play there.
Maybe Johnston straighting up to take that hit up right into the chest of Kevin Dixon. He's a big body, Kevin Dixon, but still, I wouldn't want Kobe Johnson running at me regardless if I was a fullback of any sort. Calzacao gets ankle tapped by Dixon. He just gets across in time. That's beautiful play there from the rookie fullback. As they put up a big kick here through Hugh Snow. Aaron White taking it comfortably. And he's got a little bit of space here to run and take it to the 20.
Yeah, good catch there by Aaron White, the rookie, under a lot of pressure. But he made a good catch there. And now, well, he's going to keep the Rabbitohs in. It was a very good catch. If they scored there, the Cowboys would have put a lot of pressure on the Rabbitohs to stay in this game.
As Clay now steps one. Clay on the trot. Clay may go in here. I think he is. Tyrone Clay is going to go. He doesn't quite get to the bonus area. But that is a great try nonetheless from the winger.
How did he not get the bonus zone try from there? Surely he should have got that down. Sure, let's check the replay and see if he got inside the box. I don't know how he did get the bonus zone try, but a great try there nonetheless. I think it was Daniel Hellier with the pass to Tyron Clay. He got into some space, and from there he was just away. He's too quick, Tyron Clay.
He is very, very quick player indeed. He's about 3 blades of grass short from the bonus zone area, I think, as James Thorne, look at the smile on him, happy to get his team back in the lead as he'll look to kick off back to the Cowboys. The Rabbitohs, so far, if they win this game, they are guaranteed a spot in the finals. The Cowboys will be looking to start their Nines journey a little bit better if they are to lose this. I think they'll be pushing forward in this next couple sets and really putting a lot of pressure, as they do very well, the North Queensland Cowboys, as Takuri now with a run. He's at the halfway, taken down there. He's going to play the ball. Wallace goes right to Calzacao. Moana can't do much there. One of the better halves in the game, Damien Moana, as he gets reeled in. Calzacao goes to Johnston. It's going to be the last tackle. They're going to be on the 30 here, looking to see what they do, whether they go for a play at points or just continue to put pressure. Looks like they're going for points, but Moana can't quite get away from the Rabbitohs, and that's a turnover there. A bit disappointing there.
Yeah, he had Bunting and Polo on the outside. I think that's what he was aiming for. That's a very lucky. I thought that was a knock on there from Tyron Clay. They're going to say play on. Interesting decision by the ref. But yeah, I think he had Bunting and Bolt on the outside. I think he was looking for him, but it's one of the Rabbitohs forwards. I think it might have been Dustin Richards or Hayden Davis just rushed up on him and gave him no time at all. And just like that, well, they survive. And now the Rabbitohs go back up the field.
Indeed, as I think it just came off his head there, Clay, and back into his hands before it hit the ground. As Davis now, he's going to play the ball at the 20. Thorne goes to Ryan. Ryan puts up a big kick indeed. I don't know where it's going to land. It's going to land right into the chest of Tyler Almatungi and deep in goal. It's a bit disappointing there.
Yeah, I'd say a bit is an understatement there. Way too deep from Liam Ryan. In my opinion, you should have been putting a little grubber kick through. Just keep Cowboys in this area. Now they give them a full 5 tackle set here to go and upfield. Cowboys, they want to score here. I think this is the setup they're going to score because they're running out of time. Only 4 and a bit minutes left. As a beautiful ball there, but they're going to get caught in the wing.
It's gone to Zakuri instead of the winger in Bunty Cambolo, and I think that was the issue there, just not having quite enough leg speed to step as Kalzakal through the middle now. Gets an offload to Snow. Snow dummies. Can't get around. It looked like that Rabbitohs player came out of nowhere. I don't know who it was. It looks like it was the number 6, Aaron O'Hare. As Moscow now puts up a kick of his own. It goes very high indeed. Taken by Almatungi. Almatungi is going to push here for the line. Will they help him, his teammates? Yes, they will. And he's put on his back there. The Rabbitohs hanging on by a thread.
I don't know how they stopped him there. Almatungi in the air, caught it above them. Bit confused, came down a bit dazed at sea. Maybe get a HIA on him, but he managed to look for the line, nearly got there, but some last-ditch defense there from the Rabbitohs. You know, just forced the Cowboys back and they couldn't get over the line. Great defense there.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from the North Queensland Cowboys, but even better stuff from the Rabbitohs. Just been throwing their bodies at each other as a 40-20 attempt here from Hellier. Doesn't go quite as planned as Almatungi very close to breaking the tackle there. A bit too close for comfort, I think, from Tyrone Clay. As Moana now takes a hit up. It's got about 3 minutes left in this game.
No.
It's held in tackle penalty. That is a crucial tackle, and penalty rather, for the Rabbitohs. And I don't think they'll be very happy with themselves there.
This is the opportunity. They have pretty much a full set inside the Rabbitohs half or just outside it. They can beat us quickly in the 9th format. We have to see something here as that's a great run from Luka Moscow.
Moscow through the line. Rabbitohs reeling him in. Kevin Dixon, he's been busy tonight. The Rabbitohs line defense has been less than strong, I'd say. And Kevin Dixon has had to do a lot of the heavy lifting through the line. Almatungi, he plays the ball. Moana goes to Hugh Snow. Going to play the ball inside the 10 here. Hugh Snow goes to Cambolo. Ball to Almatungi. Almatungi's in for a double in the dying moments of the game. That is a great try there from the fullback.
Tyler Almatungi, you superstar. What a run there. He's been very good today, Tyler Almatungi. Probably the Cowboys' best player. He just catches it here. Steps his way through the line. It was Aaron here. About 3 of them missed the tackle. James Vaughan, Dustin Richards, or it might have been, Hayden Davis it was. 2 all missing a tackle on Tyler Almatungi. And the Cowboys hit the lead with about 1.5 minutes remaining.
And that's a great kick there from Moana to put them forward to head the Cowboys. They'll be happy with their performance tonight and being able to come back in this game. It's not over there yet. Still 1.5 minutes left. As Moana kicks deep, it's going to be Kevin Dixon, the first man to take the hit up.
Rabbitohs have it will be this setup they're going to score. They have to find Liam Ryan. It's going to be Liam Ryan or Kevin Dixon that can ignite something. As he takes the ball there, Liam Ryan.
Liam Ryan looking very dangerous indeed. Just right at the 40 now. As Richards takes a hit up of his own. They need some more meters here. A bit more game breaker sort of mentality from the Rabbitohs. Maybe they go left to Clay, and looks like that's what they're doing here. No, they go to O'Hare instead. I don't know about that choice. Not what I would do personally, but alas, we move on. O'Hare plays the ball. Clay goes to Hellier. Hellier puts a punt down, maybe hoping for an error. The ball bounces. Almatungi lets it bounce. And he's going to get a bit of free range here.
Oh!
And he's been taken into touch. That's a great play there from Clay, I think it was. Tyrone Clay, I think he made that tackle on Almatungi. And they may have another chance to put points on the board.
They were about 20 seconds on the clock. Tyler Amatangi, chances like a little bit too much here. Tyrone Clare, beautiful tackle around the legs. If you look at here, it might have even been Daniel Hell, yeah. Nope, it was in fact Tyrone Clay coming around. And they'll have 20 seconds here to do something.
Now we have Richards now taking the first hit up. They need to score in the next tackle, I think, and that's all they'll have time for as they go to Hellier. Hellier goes to White. Outside ball to Davis. Davis has been wrapped up, and he's got no chance of getting the ball away. That's the final hooter to the very dying moments. The Cowboys walk away with their first victory of the SRL Newcastle Nines, and what a victory it is.
Yeah, brilliant performance there by the Cowboys. You know, it was a great game overall. They got over the Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs, they might not be done. Obviously, their first round victory, great for it against, could come massive handling in determining who makes the top 4. But, you know, the Cowboys, they were really strong today. And overall, I think they're the better team won, but gosh, it took some effort. It took a big effort from the Cowboys there.
It was brilliant stuff there from the Cowboys. Amatangi, easily the man of the match, scoring both their tries. It's just great stuff from him. 104 meters. Luka Moscow only topping him at 110. It was just something phenomenal from Amatangi, as he usually does. It was a very, very close game. The Rabbitohs got a lot more close than I think the Cowboys were comfortable with. As Aaron O'Hare, look at the meters they've got. It's more a bit higher average there from the Rabbitohs players. It's great stuff there. I don't know, I think that the Rabbitohs will be a bit disappointed in that loss, but, you know, they've still got a chance to make the finals based on for and against. It'll be interesting to see what unravels.
Yeah, we'll do, obviously, the Rabbitohs. They may have lost this match, but they'll finish with a forward against of positive 15, which will be massive in deciding who makes the top 4. You can get them with one win, and they may have done that. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case, though.
And as we look to move on to the next game, it's been a pleasure to have you join us. Stick around for the very soon clash of the Warriors and Parramatta Eels. We'll see you in the next match. Hello and welcome back to the SRL Nines in Newcastle. This afternoon, or this evening rather, we have the Panthers taking on the Broncos for a spot in the finals. It's Jack Carl's new form, Brisbane Broncos versus Lachlan Martin's reformed Panthers. I'm in the commentary box tonight with Schmocklin Schmartin. How are you feeling?
Yeah, look, this should be a very interesting match here. Both sides have changed a lot in the off-season, and they're ready to show their, new formed teams go head-to-head and show us what they can do. Both teams picking up around one victory against the Raiders, and this one should be a very interesting match. I don't know which way this is going to go.
Yes, both teams last season not finishing too strong. I believe it was the Brisbane Broncos down in the wooden spoon position and the Penrith Panthers in the 5th position. The Broncos went without a win for the entire season, but the Penrith Panthers showed a little bit of grit in the later stage of the season, as we have a spider cam view at the moment. And we got Joey Kelly stepping through the line, very quick to make an impact on this game. Kane Chapman-Kenny, the man to come across, and I think it was actually Luke Malchus making the final tackle. He had a great outing just earlier against the Raiders. As we have Caval thrown a forward pass, and that's not great stuff, and not a great start for the Broncos.
Yeah, disappointing there from the Broncos. They're looking good to start this game. Right up the middle there, Joey Kelly being chased down by Luke Malchus out of all players. The big forward got a double in the first game. It's very good in that opening outing, and he looks to try to continue that here, but, you know, Broncos, they were disappointed with that. They were looking good, but an error there is going to give Panthers a good opportunity to show us what they can do in this match.
Yeah, it was the 2 forwards of the Penrith pack in the last game, as Kane Chapman-Kenny now through the line gets an inside ball to Lachlan Martin, and Morrison gets the final offload from the skipper there. It's going to be the last. Ben Punch gets the ball, throws it back to Mansour, who puts a very, very high ball up to the right wing. I don't think anyone's going to get there, and yeah, Joey Kelly takes it quite comfortably.
They had a very good set there, Penrith, but a disappointing end to it. That was not the kick they needed. They needed to put it down low. Troubled Corey Bell at the back there. Have a chaser come through. You know, Casey K could have been going through on it, or someone like that, but instead they just let the ball go high, and Joey Kelly was always going to catch that. Disappointing stuff there from Penrith.
Never a doubt in my mind as Jake Scott now through the line, taken down by KCK. As I was saying before, it was the Penrith Panthers forward pack in Lachlan Martin and Luke Malchus, the 2 veterans, both obviously being in either now or previously in leadership roles. Luke Malchus, the Season 2 captain of the North Queensland Cowboys. They're really leading by example and showing, building a nice platform for their backs and their halves, and that's pretty much why they won that first game.
Yeah, look, I have to agree. They're going to want to get off the back of that once again if they want to win this game. Obviously, both men very strong in their lead up as an offload there, as Crutcher out through a space, and he's going to get caught there.
Crutcher trying to turn Corey Bell inside out there, but just unsuccessful in doing so. We've got Ben Punch now taking it down the side. Doesn't get full pelt yet and doesn't use his winger. There's Morrison now. He's going to go left to Crutcher. Crutcher takes a hit up, the small half being a bit fearless in that one. About 20 out now. Last tackle. Mansour goes to Morrison. Morrison puts it up, cross field, off the left boot. Puts it very high. Joey Kelly takes it comfortably. He's on the trot now, and he gets reeled in by Ash Crutcher very luckily. And that's a very lucky tackle there from the Penrith Panthers.
Oh!
Oh, it's Callum Irwin here. He's got an intercept. Corey Bell's come along and he's ankle tapped him, but Irwin gets up to run again. He doesn't get much ground, though. He's at the 5-metre line now. It's the first tackle. Punch goes to Crutcher. Outside ball to Morrison. Steps and he's in.
Yeah, an intercept throw there by the Broncos. Have had a few errors to start this game. Callum Irwin takes it, runs up the middle. They get a quick play of the ball there. Crutcher sends it out to Jacob Morrison, and he crosses over for a beautiful try there for Penrith. Great stuff there by Morrison.
Fantastic play there from Callum Irwin as well. Reading that pass and making sure that he gets in the way of it, getting the ball nicely, and then obviously he didn't give up. It was the man Corey Bell giving an ankle tap on him, and he got up and tried to run again as there was no player holding him down. Didn't get very far as the Broncos quickly realised that he wasn't held in the tackle.
Yeah, as Ash Crutcher slots it there, he'll be happy with that. Had a few missed kicks in the first outing against the Raiders, but he'll get that one there, and they're going to need all conversions because I think this one's going to be very close.
And the Brisbane Broncos will be looking to make the most out of this set here as they look to secure a spot in the finals. As we said earlier, whoever wins this game is guaranteed a spot in the finals. As Corey Bell now through the line, can't get around KCK, his opposite. As he plays the ball just beyond the 40 now. Caval goes to Monkey. Can't get much further than that. He just gets about 5 metres for his team. As Caval. And it's Corey Bell now through the line. KCK cutting him down, and I don't know who that was around the legs. As he plays the ball at the 35, Caval goes to Sam Herban. An awkward kick there, a bit wobbly as Poit takes it, and he's going through the line. Can't get around Caval, but almost got around Corey Bell there. As punch, Mansour goes to Morrison. He's going to play it there on the 30. Driven back in that tackle. Punch goes left to Crutcher. Crutch looking for an early kick, it looks like, but no, he shifts it to Chapman Kenny instead. They didn't gain any ground in that tackle. Mansour takes it straight up there, trying to get some more meters for his team, a little bit of momentum. Mansour's going to play it. It's about 38 out from their own line. Crutcher kicks it. That's a big kick there. And Corey Bell does not let that bounce. He takes on the full. And it's Crutcher fielding his own kick and making sure that Corey Bell's brought down.
Good defensive there by the Broncos. They have to use this field position now.
Joey Kelly now breaking through the line and weaving. Casey K covering him for all money. He's going to play the ball out 25 out from the try line there. Carl goes to Monkey. Monkey spreads it to Plays. Plays can't get anywhere. He's going to have to play the ball. It's the third tackle now. Caval goes to Scott. Scott shifts it to Herbin. Herbin offload to Carl. The captain's over.
Yeah, beautiful play there. Just down the short side. Herbin to Carl. Not sure what he's doing on the wing there, but it worked wonders. Nate Pruitt a little bit in front of the play. I don't know how he let Carl just go behind him with his back turned. Disappointing stuff there from the rookie, but the Broncos are in. And as I said, this game's going to be close, and we'll need this conversion to keep it that way, and it is.
That's a beautiful kick from Carl as well. It's a good set play there from the Broncos. You don't see that often, that kind of lineup. Well, we didn't see it at all from the Brisbane Broncos last season, but obviously whatever the captaincy and the coaching staff are doing at the Broncos seems to be working a treat as we see some great cohesion there.
Yeah, it was really good stuff there from the Broncos. They sort of just went with their players. That's a forward pass, and that's disappointing from Penrith.
Luke Malkus thrown a forward pass, and there we go. The Panthers make a critical error on about 20 metres out from their own line. There's a minute to go. Will they be able to hold on? As we have Monkey now taking a run. He only knows one way, and that's forward. Plays the ball, goes 10 metres. Hunt pushing forward on the tackle. Simon Hunt, I think he's gotten over the line here. Referee Ashley Klein, he's tired. He needs to send it upstairs. As Casey K looks to just not quite wrap that ball up correctly. And Simon Hunt looks like he's grounded this.
Yeah, disappointing stuff there from the Penrith Panthers. Casey K had a good tackle there, good contact. But Ben Puncher Callum was sort of just looking at him, not doing anything. And the Broncos score. And that's just, it's very disappointing from Penrith. 2 quick tries, and just like that, they're down by 6.
Yeah, it was Penrith looking very dangerous in the first part of this half, and then now it's really flipped around, and it's the Broncos that look the most dangerous. Just a quick, in 2 minutes, scoring 12 points. That's record speed there. As Kyle kicks it off. It's fielded by Crutcher. Crutcher looking to try and maybe get a long-range try here, but about 5 seconds left on the clock. I don't think they'll get much done. It's going to be the last play of this. Callum Irwin gets a good pass to Morrison, but he gets nowhere, and that's going to be half-time. It's the Brisbane Broncos with the lead, 12-6 to the Panthers. Welcome back to the Newcastle 9 series for the Simulation Rugby League Premiership. It's the Penrith Panthers taking on the Brisbane Broncos. The Broncos 12, Panthers 6. If you're just joining us, it was a weird first half there. The Penrith Panthers holding on to most of the possession and most of the good field positioning. And the Broncos with a 2-minute 12-point turnaround. It was something special, wasn't it, Schmocklin?
Yeah, it was disappointing from Penrith, but the Broncos, they did well to get back into this. You know, Panthers were very strong early on as Malkus now off the middle. Gets an offload. It'll be caught there. That's good stuff from Penrith to start this half, though.
That's a good run to start there. And a good foundation for this set as they get a 6 again. It was touched by a Broncos defender, and that's a huge benefit there for the Panthers. They're going to play the ball 35 out from the opposition try line. Inside ball to Chapman Kenny. Kenny can't get around Corey Bell, but he almost did. He showed off his afterburners already. Punch goes left to Martin. Martin takes it forward. He's run it straight into Jake Scott there. He plays the ball just out from the try line here. Mansour Ball to Irwin. Irwin, he's getting wrapped up. No, he's not. And it looks like he's gone over here.
Yeah, Callum Irwin, he's very strong close to the line. He just ran hard at, I think that's Simon Hunt there, the try scorer in the first half. You can't keep him up there. Callum Irwin knows how to find the line, and he gets over, and a great try there from the Penrith Panthers, as if Ash Crutcher can get this, they'll be tied up.
Yeah, that's great stuff there. The Panthers is a very important kick here from Ash Crutcher. I think he'll be all right. He's no stranger to high-pressure situations. As you look at the face on him, he's happy that he slotted that, and as just like that, the game's tie all over again, and we've got 8 minutes on the, 7 minutes on the clock to see what happens next.
Yeah, it's been a very good game from both sides so far. I have no idea which way this is going to go. I think if the Broncos are going to want to win it, they're going to want to get Corey Bell hands on the ball more, as that's a good run there from him. You know, Ash Crutcher, KCK get up to stand up for Penrith. I have no idea which way this is going to go.
It's been a fairly back-dominated game, this one so far, as Hunt now through the line. He's got a little bit of pace there. KCK easily covering him, but had to work a little bit as Monkey now through the line. We got Caval.
Oh!
Caval goes for the field goal. Is very, very close to KCK. I think KCK didn't know what was going on, and he slotted that. What a kick.
I don't know why he's going for it so early, but still, what is there, like 6 minutes remaining? 6 minutes remaining in this game. Panthers now get the ball back. Very confusing decision there from Rohan to go for it early, but they have the point in their back pocket now.
He's no stranger to having a strong kicking game. Like, he's slotted a fair few field goals in his time. But yeah, Caval playing at the hooker, and probably where he'll be sitting for the Brisbane Broncos during the regular season. I think, what do you think about that move?
Yeah, look, I think it's the right decision. You know, he has a very strong defensive game as a half. You know, I don't think with the halves they have available, Sam Herb and Jack Carl, the captain himself, I don't know if they really need to as an intercept here.
Oh, Morrison's away. Morrison's away. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's ankle tapped. That's a dramatic play there from here. The Broncos throwing everything at him to stop him. Punch goes to Crutcher. Crutcher pushing forward here. The Brisbane Broncos are in all types of hot water. Punch goes right to Mansour.
Yes!
Mansour to Irwin. Irwin's in. Irwin's got a try there for the Panthers, and they'll take the lead.
Callum Irwin scores a double here. He's been very good in this match. Obviously got the intercept that set up the first try. And now he's gone and scored a double, and Penrith take the lead. Obviously still time remaining on this clock. Beautiful short ball here to Callum Irwin. And Sam Herbert just wasn't ready for him. And an intercept throw by Morrison. He nearly got over himself there. He failed. And now if Crutcher gets this, they'll be up by 5.
Yeah, that's great stuff there from Ash Crutcher with the kick. Perfectly stricken. Yeah, it was the play from Cody Mansour. He's been on fire tonight with his passing game. Just finding the gaps for his forwards. And then just getting points off it. It's been great stuff to watch him tonight.
Yeah, he's been very good, Cody Mansour. Obviously coming from Brisbane last season. Made his debut there, but played only 1 or 2 games there, I believe. And he's come to Penrith, come across. He's been very good so far tonight. I'm excited to see how he goes in this season. Obviously unsure where he's going to play, whether he's in the half position, bench utility, or even in the centres potentially. It's going to be very interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see indeed when you've got halves like Anthony Delaney and Ash Crutcher. You've really got to consider where you put him. He's had a great outing so far. We'll see as the season ends. Morrison now. Oh, he's weaved and he's gone. Oh, maybe not. We've got a bit of a foot race here, but he looks like he's pulling away. Yes, he is. He's gone. Morrison is going to put it under the post in the bonus zone.
Jacob Morrison, he's been absolutely terrific. He had a very quiet first half last game against the Raiders. But since that second half against the Raiders, he's just been absolutely in everything for the Penrith Panthers. I believe that's his second of the day. Or second of the game, I should say. His third of the day for him, Jacob Morrison. It was a great play there. Caught the ball, a wonky kick there. Did a great job to catch it. No real pressure there from the Broncos chase. Then he stepped one. turned Corey Bell inside out, and he was gone from there. And although they can still come back if they can be quick about it, Broncos, it's going to be very hard from here.
Yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult. They've got a 12-point turnaround they'll need in less than 3 minutes now, as Bell takes it through the line.
That's good stuff. They need more of that.
Yeah, they do need more of that. A bit of momentum, hopefully, for this set, as Koval goes to Herben, spreads it to Carl.
Oh,
Carl
he's away!
Carl, has he got the pace to get there? No, he can't get around. KCK, as very few can. But he's gotten great meters there for his team, the captain. Justin Place gives it to Scott. Scott gets an offload to Herben. Herben takes the tackle. It's going to be on the 20 here, the third tackle now.
Needs to be now.
Koval goes left. Kelly goes to Hunt. Hunt can't get away from them. Maybe it should have been swapped there, and Kelly trying to step around Morrison. But
has to be this kick.
The ball. It has to be, as Sam Herben puts it very high.
Oh, no one's there!
Oh, Morrison's come across the field, and he's fielded that kick. That is brilliant stuff there from him.
Jacob Morrison with the play that seals the game. Twice in a row, scores the try. Next play he has involved with, he catches a ball that looked like for all money Corey Bell was going to catch and set up a grandstand finish. What a play from Jacob Morrison. Absolutely incredible stuff there from the Panthers winger.
Brilliant stuff there from Jacob Morrison. It looked like a little bit of lack of communication out the back, and Morrison said, all right, fellas, I'm going to have to take this one then. As Irwin breaks through the line, gets an offload to Mansour. Mansour driven back in that tackle. It's going to be the last tackle now. 17 minutes have gone. Less than a minute left on the clock. Punch goes right. He goes to Crutcher. Crutcher from his 40. Kicks it down to the wing of Joey Kelly. Kelly's got space, but he can't get around. I think that's Crutcher. Yes, it is. He's coming across and defending his own kick. Koval goes right to Carl. Carl goes to Monkey. Monkey can't get very far in that one. He's going to play the ball at the 40. Less than 30 seconds left on the clock. I think this game has been secured for the Penrith Panthers. As Corey Bell, he's going to play the ball at the 40. Goes back to Herben. Herben looking for a 40-20. Nowhere near enough power in that one. KCK is going to take that comfortably. He's going to just waste some time. Oh, he's through the line here. He's on through the line. Corey Bell looks like he's going to take him to touch. No, he's not, but that's the last tackle. And that's the full-time siren. It's the Penrith Panthers going through to the finals, defeating the new form Brisbane Broncos 25-13. What a brilliant game.
Yeah, look, I thought the Panthers were going to be in a bit of trouble when Rohan kicked that field goal, but they just calmed themselves down. And then it was Callum Irwin and Jacob Morrison to steal the show, both getting another try each. And they both played terrifically. Jacob Morrison, he's my man of the match. He had some big moments. He scored 2 tries. Not only that, he scored the try that sealed it and made a big play that didn't give Brisbane a chance to have a grandstand finish. What a game he had.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Jacob Morrison, already proving to be a great pickup there from the Penrith Panthers. As a winger, running 206 metres in the 9s is quite an accomplishment, so good job and congratulations to him. Kane Chapman-Kenny did an excellent job as well out the back in defence. That's how I felt. Just making sure that he was wrapping up people. 11 tackles is probably far too many for a fullback to be making. As we have a look at the Broncos stats here, Corey Bell with 128 metres. He had a decent game. And Sam Herben and Joey Kelly. Sam Herben probably one of the better players for the Broncos in this outing.
You have to agree with that. I think his kicking game was really good. He had a try assist to his name. He was just taking on the line. I have to say the other half player, Jack Carl, also with a terrific game. Didn't run as much, but I think his guidance on the field is really noticeable. He had a few big runs too in his line breaks, obviously scoring that try. But the Panthers go on. The Broncos, they'll probably be a little bit disappointed, and I don't think they can make it at all. I think they've been ruled out no matter what, even if they have one win.
I guess only time will tell as we look to push on for the next game. We'll get back to you soon in that regard. It's been a pleasure having you for this game. Join us very shortly for the Cowboys versus Knights clash, the last one of the regular pool, as the Knights look to go at least with one win, and the Cowboys look to push on in their career towards the finals. We'll see you shortly.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me there's 80 minutes in a week just for rugby league?
James? How you doing, my friend? Happy Friday.
Well, what I'm saying is there are 10,080 minutes in a week, right? And how long's the game?
It goes for 80 minutes.
80 minutes. You can do what you want with the other 10,000 minutes, but those 80 are special, mate.
He's right, you know. Normal world just sort of disappears.
Think so?
I know, so I've seen it every week, man.
I'm alive, I was high for the good times. I was high for the good times. So I'll be better, I'll be better.
I like Manly.
I'll be better, I'll be better.
We're almost there, buddy.
Okay, one last thing. Who do you think's feeling the heat tonight then?
That should be Tedesco, wouldn't it, up against his old team?
Go Tigers! Welcome back to the Newcastle Nines tournament of the Simulation Rugby League. It's last season's premiers, the North Queensland Cowboys taking on the newcomers, the Newcastle Knights, in what is shaped up to be a blockbuster of a final match of the regular tournament before we head into the finals. I'm your SRL Mines Commissioner, Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by Lachlan Martin, your SRL Commissioner, and I'm looking forward to this match. How about you, Lachlan?
Yeah, it should be a very intriguing match. I'm, for one, looking forward to it. Obviously, the Newcastle Knights, disappointing first outing, 19 points to 0 against the South Sydney Rabbitohs in a match they were expected relatively to win. You know, they weren't expected to dominate or anything, but they were expected to get over them, and it was a very disappointing outing there. The North Queensland Cowboys beating the Rabbitohs 12-8. A win here will confirm their spot in the finals. A loss here, although it's pretty likely they'll make it, they could still miss out with a loss here due to for and against. So it's going to be a very interesting match. I don't really have a clue who's going to win it. I'm going to tip the Cowboys, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Knights back bounce being the home side in the tournament.
It'll be interesting to see. I don't see the Knights having any chance after that first game of coming over the premiers, the defending premiers, that is. But I guess only time will tell as Hugh Snow takes a run. They're off to a good start here. And the Knights trying to defend. They're doing a decent job holding back the Cowboys so far. As Kauzakau, he's going to take the last hit up of the set. He's going to play the ball about 35 out from his own line. Hugh Snow with the kick now. A good jab. And it's going to be that man, Dom Pongston, the rookie, to field it as Pongston steps one. Oh, and he's just been brought down, looking dangerous very early on. Tyler Almatungi struggling to get to him.
Yeah, great start there. It's now Matthew Vaughan up the middle. Great start there from the Knights. Great defensive set. Now they're in a good attacking position here. Let's see if they can use it.
Yeah, the Knights with a fairly young team as Mark Iron now steps one. Mark Iron can't get around Almatungi. He was stellar in his first performance, Almatungi. As we have Pongston goes left to Pua. Isaac Edwards.
Oh!
And he's going to push over, and the Knights are the ones to score first, I think. Ashley Klein's going to send it upstairs, but I think there's no need. As Fa'afili, the rookie, one of the best players in the Mines last season, looked to have grounded it.
Yeah, great run there from Manu Fa'afili. Short ball there from Isaac Edwards. In fact, it might have been an offload there. And he just pushes his way over the line. Great start by the Knights. You know, they obviously weren't happy with their first performance. I don't think it's possible for them to still make finals just due to that negative 19 they currently have as all. Isaac Edwards. Not a great goal kick attempt there. But anyway, yeah, I just don't think it's possible due to their, you know, for and against. But, you know, it's great to see them start really well early with Manu Fa'afili for first drafted rookie crossing over early.
It's brilliant stuff from the Knights. If they pull this off, it's going to be yet another upset of this tournament. Obviously, one of them being the Seagulls going out first, and then not long after, the Raiders after them.
Oh!
We have Cambolo now through the line. He's got in a bit of a foot race here. He's going to get caught. That's very lucky stuff there from the Knights, coming across with a bit of pace. Wallace goes left to Takuri. the man that led in a try before. He's really, really aggressive in that run there, trying to get as many meters as he can for his team. Moana decides to go himself. Doesn't pass the ball, which is probably a good thing with how the Knights' defense was rushing up on him. Wallace goes left to Cambolo.
Oh, takes on the loss!
Straight through the line. Cambolo's in! And that is great stuff there from the winger.
Bunty Cambolo decides to take it himself on the last. Brilliant play there. Bunty just took on the line. Bo Sadler made to look silly. And Bunty Cambolo crosses in. Probably could have got a bonus zone try. I don't know why he didn't, but the Cowboys just like that take the lead. He had a great set there, Bunty Cambolo. You know, it was the player that made the break to get up the field. Took it himself on the last. Very unorthodox what you'd expect the Cowboys to be doing there. But it just worked for them. They weren't expecting it the Knights.
No, they weren't as Moana now kicks off. Cambolo showing a lot of speed there. And just a beautiful right foot step. That's great stuff to see. And the Cowboys, I think they'll be happy with that. It's very unconventional how they play. Oh! As it looks like head's been taken off. I couldn't quite see who was running the ball. But the Knights now, with a penalty, they'll kick for touch and progress down the field.
Yeah, Matthew Vaughan, good dummy there. It was Damien Wilder came across, trying to take him down. Just got his arm a little bit too high. Clipped his chin there, it seemed. And now the Knights have a great attacking position here.
Ponkston embracing his inner Cambolo. Can't quite make the line. As Bo Sadler's going to go right.
Oh!
Inside ball. He's taken off the ball. Referee says play on, and Wallace collects it.
They read the play beautifully there. Jack O'Neill looking for an inside ball. They read it beautifully. Just put shoulders into the tackle. Jarred the ball loose. And the Cowboys have it again. Although the Knights' Russian offense is once again good to do. Only to the 20 after 3 tackles.
It's good stuff so far. The Newcastle Knights pushing forward and trying to make sure that the Cowboys don't get out of their own half. And they've been pretty successful so far in that sense. As O'Neill now, he's going to run it. He's playing in fullback jersey. Not too sure where he'll be playing in the regular season. Where do you think he'll be playing, Lachlan?
Oh, look, I think he'll get that fullback jersey. I think Matthew Vaughan, Isaac Edwards, the halves in this tournament, have those half positions locked down. Don Ponkston, Mark Iron can also slot in a fullback, but I think Jack O'Neill, I know he's wanted to play fullback for a while. I think he'll play it as Rowan Momenston now.
The experienced forward trying to run it straight to the line. Doesn't quite have the pace to get around the very, very quick pack of the Cowboys. As Vaughan now going a bit sideways across the field, trying to get as many meters as he can. He's going to play the ball. Sadler goes left. Isaac Edwards puts in a grubber kick, and it's collected nicely from Wallace. That's the second loose ball that he's collected so far.
Yeah, Isaac Edwards needed a little bit more power on that grubber kick. Only just set up for Thomas Wallace. To his credit, though, Isaac Edwards didn't really have any chases either. But miscommunication all around there for the Knights. Disappointing stuff there once again.
Yeah, as Johnston seeks a hole in the line and exploits it for all the meters he can get. It's O'Neill taking him down. Wallace going left to Snow. Snow kicking it. I don't know why he's going for the 40-20 because he was in front of the line. Maybe he wasn't. Oh, and it looks like Iron's taking it and Moscow's taking him out.
I think Mark Iron was diving there knowing that he had a player behind him. He dived to try to keep it in, but Luka Moscow just manages to push him over the touch. I think Mark Iron probably could have left it there. It was going to go out anyway. He could have just sort of waited for it. Maybe thought the 40-20 was going to occur. But now for Cowboys, good field position here. Let's see what they can do.
The Cowboys in prime attacking position. There's 2 minutes left in the clock. Plenty of time to score some points. I don't know how the Knights will hold on here. As they don't, Almatungi's through. Finds a gap. Steps one. His hoss, he's gone.
Yeah, it was the man that scored the double against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and he does it once more. Takes on the line, he gets past one, through the hole, and you're not going to catch him that close to the line. He's just too quick, too strong, has very good footwork there. Mudafar Philly, the rookie, disappointed to let Almatungi get around him that easily, but the Cowboys are in for another. And assuming Moana gets this kick, then it'll be 8 points difference. Oh, he nearly missed that one, but he gets it.
That's good stuff there from Moana. One of the best halves in the league at the moment. Had a stellar season for the North Queensland Cowboys in the previous season as he kicks off here. It's going to be Jack O'Neill fielding the kick, taking it himself, finding a gap. Jack O'Neill gets ankle tapped by Almatangi. But gosh, can we imagine the drama if that ankle tap didn't hit? As we have Vaughan going left, Isaac Edwards on the wing there. Ponkston backing up. He's going to be in the dummy half position. Vaughan goes to Philly. Philly gets a good pass to Sadler. Sadler breaks a tackle. Sadler's going through the middle. They're not going to catch him. Maybe they will. No, they won't. Sadler. That's a beautiful try from the ex-Manly player.
Straight up the middle there, Bo Sadler just did a bit of work there. Got past one. He's still going there. Struggled to catch him. And I thought they were going to get him there, but he just broke past a few tackles there. He can break tackle Sadler. And just like that, he goes over. Good try there from Bo Sadler.
Yes, brilliant stuff from Sadler. We've seen time and time again how good of a player he is. A 65 rated overall with a 75 speed. It's brilliant stuff to see on the field for him. As we have Almatangi now. Oh, running straight through the line. Trying to get something special in the last play for his team, but that's going to be the halftime siren. It's the Cowboys with a 12-10 lead over the Knights. We'll see very shortly as we look to see if the Cowboys secure a spot in the finals. Damien Moana is the man to look and kick off for the Cowboys. If you're just joining us now, the Cowboys with a 12-10 lead over the Knights. The Knights just trying to catch up in the final moments of that first half. The Knights will try and win this game to make sure they haven't gone empty-handed with no wins. And the Cowboys looking to secure a spot in the finals of the Newcastle Nines tournament. What did you think of that first half, Lachlan?
Yeah, look, I think it was very good by both sides. Both sides had times that were lacking, but they also had times where they were very strong. I think a concern for the Cowboys especially was the Knights' rushing offense was really good in that first half. To the point where sometimes the Cowboys, if they started inside at 20 and they weren't leaving the half, it was very good from the Knights. If they could continue doing that, I think they might be able to win here and cause a major upset.
They may be able to as they've got good field position now. They're at 15 out from the opposition try line. They go back to Isaac Edwards. He puts up a kick. It looks like it's got good depth on it, but no one's chasing. Once again, the Knights chase just not showing what they need to be showing. And Luka Moscow takes it very comfortably.
Yeah, disappointing there from the Knights. It should have been a little bit... Probably down low would have been better. If they're going to go higher, they need to be higher. So they could let those chasers... Sorry about that. Let those chasers get above... You know, get there so they can get above the pack and maybe out leap. I think it was Tyler Matangi that made the catch. But Knights have to defend now. That was a big run for Kowski.
Absolutely bumping off some of the Knights' defense there. The Cowboys progressing down this field. Having a very strong campaign in this set. As a... to Curry. He's got the ball. It's the last tackle. Moana jabs it down to the corner. Ponkston feels it on the full. Steps one. Ponkston, he's got a bit of speed to burn. He can't get around Almatangi and he's taken down on the 50.
Yeah, it was a good run there from Dom Ponkston, but he couldn't get past Almatangi. Almatangi has him there covered for speed. Always a big body top Ponkston. Almatangi managed to catch him there. But it's a good start from the set as Jack O'Neill now up the middle.
Brilliant stuff from O'Neill there. As we have Sadler going left to Ua. Goes to Philly. He's going to be brought down about 19 metres out from his opponent's try line. Vaughan puts it up high.
Oh, good kick.
His kick looks better. They've got chasers now. Oh, and Isaac Edwards has taken it. That's a brilliant catch there from the half. And it looks like the Knights are right back in this one.
Yeah, brilliant catch there from Isaac Edwards. Who would have thought the small guy would have been able to outleap Tyler Almatangi? Nearly got to the bonus zone, although the Cowboys defense was able to stop that from happening. But Isaac Edwards, he has played fullback in the past, although not at SRL level. Obviously, growing up in park footy, playing fullback before. At the Rabbitohs, they converted him to a half/5'8" type player. And he brought out as in a fullback there, managed to outleap Tyler Almatangi to ground the ball. And just like that, the Knights are back in it.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from him there. It didn't look like he quite outleaped him, but rather got under him and stole the ball right out of his hands. It was an interesting take. And Isaac Edwards showing again why he's one of the best players in the competition, as with the Knights now give away a held and tackle penalty. And whatever momentum they just had, it looks like they've thrown it away very, very quickly.
Poor stuff there from the Knights. They cannot allow things like that to happen. This is going to give the Cowboys perfect opportunity. It's very hard to defend in the Knights when you're inside your own half. And as Luka Moscow goes straight up the middle, it just shows why it's so hard.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Moscow. He's been pretty good on his line, a little bit quiet. Cambolo, the preferred winger, I think, to kick down to. That's for the Knights. As Moana's going to play the ball just outside the line here. Hugh Snow taking it forward, turned on his back by the Knights. So he's looking to hold him out here, but I don't know how they will. And to Curry now, that's a good tackle there from the Knights.
Oh, great defense.
Oh, and it looks like Moana's dropped his lollies. And the Knights, they're off the hook. Good stuff there from their defense.
Yeah, great pressure there. They kept going down that short side there. The short side of, I'm not entirely sure. I think Ponkston, the rookie, in fact, is on that side, along with Philly. But, you know, they stood up there. Matthew Vaughan is down that side too. They managed to just stand up there. And great stuff there from the Knights. They just managed to hang on. Is that Mark Iron? Oh, he's away.
Mark Iron is gone. The Cowboys aren't going to catch them. And it looks like that Mark Iron has just secured the win for the Knights. Anything can happen still, but that's a brilliant try there from the vet.
Yeah, it's Sabato up the middle there. Managed to draw in time. Amatangi managed to get an offload away there as he was falling down to Mark Iron. A great catch there from Mark Iron, and he has speed to burn. The ex-Raiders fullback turned, or Broncos center turned Knights. We don't know where he's going to be playing this season, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. He's just burning them alive. And great run there from Mark Iron.
Be interesting to see where everyone lines up. They've got a diverse amount. They've only got two props, sorry. No, sorry, yeah, just one prop in their team, the Knights, and that's Cameron Relentless. They've got a lot of locks and second rowers, hookers. We'll see how they line up for round one. It'll be an interesting one for sure, as Wallace now trying to dummy to get around the fullback, but can't quite get around O'Neill. The Cowboys really, really struggling here to try and get through the Knights' defense. Getting some good meters, though, nonetheless. As Cow takes the ball. Johnston through the line. Johnston weaves, gets a ball to Wallace. Wallace is in. That's great stuff from the Cowboys.
Yeah, the Cowboys, they were down, but they're not there. But they are going to tighten this lead the Knights contain. And definitely, they're still able to potentially steal this victory from the Knights. Great run there from Kobe Johnston. Threw a pass back on the inside to Thomas Wallace. And the Knights weren't able to catch him. Isaac Edwards was chasing, but he wasn't able to get under the ball to stop him. And Thomas Wallace goes over for the Cowboys' third of the game. They're still in it. They'll only be down by 5, assuming Moana gets his kick. It's going to be an interesting last 2 minutes. But they have to remember the Knights will start with the ball. So they're going to have to get second use of it in this final 2 minutes.
We'll see how they go. We know how clutch some of the players of the Cowboys are. Moana being one of them. Almatangi another. We'll see how they field for this next set. They need to do well in defense to try and keep that field positioning that they have and to get points on the board. If any team can do it, I think it is the Cowboys, with the skipper Moana leading them out. As Takuri takes that tackle there. There's Vaughan. He's going to take a run now. Himself on the 50. He's taken down, third tackle. Sadler goes left to Edwards. Edwards through the line. Almatangi getting around him is going to be tackled. That's good field. That's 45 meters gain. That's good field positioning for the Knights. As Ponkston's going to put a jab down to the wing here. Cambolo, they need to be careful on this return, and they're very careful. Cambolo starting the set for the Cowboys on the 10 of their own line.
Yeah, what a battle.
It's Moana now. A bit of space. Sorry to cut you off, Lachlan. Cow gets it to Hugh Snow. Hugh Snow gets past his own 50. And never mind, they've got a good run there.
He was about to say the battle of Campbell and Ponks have been one to watch. Both very tall players there. As now Amatangi, this could be dangerous.
Amatangi's through the line. He can't get an offload. O'Neill misses the ankle tap, but he slows him down just enough for his teammates to catch up. Takuri now He's going to take a settler there. It's now or never with 8 seconds left on the clock. The Cowboys need something special. Oh, Campbell's put in a shocking kick there. And that's going to be the game. The Knights are going to win it 23-18. Don Pongston taking the final tackle. Oh, my gosh. My heart's out of my chest. And the Cowboys with only one win. And the Knights likewise. They'll be seeing to who makes the finals. They may make it regardless, but it's undecided yet. It's a brilliant game there. What a blockbuster, Lachlan.
Yeah, it was an incredible match. We currently have not had a full look at the ladder, so we're not entirely sure who makes the finals from here. Obviously, you guys are probably keeping track of it, are aware anyways, but the Cowboys, they probably should have won that match. Bunty Campbell, a better kick, and they probably score and potentially steal it from the Knights. But they did good to bounce back to Newcastle Knights. I don't think they can make the finals with their negative 14 for and against, but nonetheless, it was a very good performance by the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, it was brilliant stuff there. Bo Sadler, easily the man of the match. He was everywhere on the field. He was doing great stuff in both attack and defense. It was incredible stuff to watch. Moana had another great outing there for the Cowboys. They're keeping up his season 4 form. Cambolo doing a great job. Wallace was probably one of the best for the Cowboys. So Pongston with 125 meters for the Knights. That's great stuff there from the rookie.
Yeah, it was amazing. I thought he was up there with the best. I thought Isaac Edwards, he didn't run very far, but he had a try assist. Very good kicking game. He definitely was someone to watch for season 5, as he had a very strong performance there today for the Knights.
Stuff there. It's brilliant stuff from Edwards, and he just showed what a class half he is in that outing, I think.
You have to agree. Look, coming up from Penrith, he wasn't in the greatest form appearance at Penrith. He may do to the Newcastle Knights. I think it's a move for the better for him. I am really looking forward to see how he goes in this Season 5 season.
A very exciting time for the SRL as we look forward. That's the final game of tonight. Thank you for joining us as we get back to you on who makes the finals. I've been Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by Lachlan Martin. We'll see you tomorrow night for all the final matches, including the grand final at 7:30 p.m.